Welcome. Was good. The Buckeye Steppas podcast back live and direct, man. Was good. How y'all feeling, fellas?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Blessed, black, and highly favored.
Yeah.
And this is the
But
Buckeye Steppas podcast, and we do cover the national champions. Just to remind y'all, we still got that championship, and you know what I'm saying, holding that crown, and we getting ready to defend it in this 2025 season. You did.
Yep.
right.
Yes, sir. So, man, we can go ahead and get it cracking, man. All right, man. A lot of shit been going on as far as recruiting. Last week was the last week of visits for Ohio State for us official visits last week, and man, we gonna get it cracking with the recruiting update, man. Just starting off, um, three-star offensive tackle from Arizona, Aaron Thomas, last night ends up committing to Ohio State, man. So big news right there for us, my man Aaron Thomas committing in. I know a lot of people was out there was kind of speaking about the situation with Felix Ojo. Pretty much, they like, oh no, Felix Ojo's picking between Ohio State and Texas right now. Those are the top two schools. And a lot of people is believing he's going to lean to Texas because he's from Texas. And I can say right now, man, with Felix Ojo, he might be out of the loop, but Aaron Thomas, I like this kid, man. Looking at his film and everything, athletic at the offensive tackle spot, and from what I'm hearing, I hear that the Buckeyes are real comfortable and they love this kid. And we got two pure tackles in this class, Sam Greer and Aaron Thomas in his class, man. Both of them guys is killers. And speaking of Sam Greer, man, I gotta show this little clip, man, from him real quick, man, from Rivals. They had the Rivals.com camp the other day, and Sam Greer was in there putting in work, man, the offensive tackle from Archbishop Hoban, man. And I gotta share this clip, man, real quick. Let y'all see him put in his work. There you go.
He better calm that down, or he's gonna be a walking personal foul during games now. You know what I'm saying? Control
Hey man,
chaos. Control chaos.
I like the physicalness right there, boy, and I like that intense right there. He a dog in them trenches, and that's what we need. We
Yo,
need
you
more
say
of
he a
that. And that
three-star kid?
not him. That's now Sam Greer's a 4-star. Now the guy that just committed, Aaron Thomas, he's a 3-star, high low tier 4-star. That's what they kind of claiming. Yeah, his ranking will probably go up throughout the year where he'll end up being a 4-star. So I'm not tripping about that for us, Aaron Thomas. But Aaron Thomas, big kid, let alone with Sam Greer. Sam Greer, that's the same kid at Archbishop Hope that played basketball. And he in there. Remember that clip that we seen of him earlier this year playing basketball for Hoban, and he was dunking on shit, like posting
Yeah.
shit up like he was dirting the whiskey and shit, fade back uh, by the fucking free throw line with the fade away and shit. Like he
Mm-hmm.
was cooking, man. He was cooking.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
definitely cooking, man. So definitely salute to my man Sam Greer and Aaron Thomas, man. And I'm gonna just go down a little bit more with the recruiting side. So official visits from this past weekend, pulling it up. All right, so last weekend, of course, you had Chris Henry Jr. He was there along with Caden Dixon Wyatt. Um, you had Braylon Womack, man. Braylon Womack to of course, y'all see the pic, y'all see the thumbnail of what we got. That's a picture of Braylon Womack, Simeon Caldwell, Blaine Bradford, and Jordan Thomas right there. And Jordan Thomas, of course, he's the cornerback 2026 class from New Jersey. You got Simeon Caldwell out there from Vegas. And then you got Blaine Bradford out there from Louisiana. Then of course Braylon Womack from Mississippi out there, all in one picture right there. Three safeties, one quarterback. Looks crazy right there, man, for the future, man, because these guys could be the future, man. And oh, I heard Blaine Bradford had a great old official visit. He loved his visit. He said he was a little bit tired from the visit a little bit because they've been traveling, they've been going, doing visits week to week pretty much. So they was a little tired because Ohio State was his last OV. But he enjoyed his visit. Looking back, and shout out to the Buckeye boys, man. Doing great content over there. Sub up to them if anybody, tap in with them. They did an interview with Braylon Womack and his father the other day, and his father was pretty much mentioning his father was mentioning like he got real close with Blaine Bradford's dad, and he got close with Simeon Caldwell's dad too. So both dads been hitting up BJ Womack, hitting them up and trying to lock the deal in for as Womack coming to Ohio State, man. And right now, from what I'm hearing, Bill Kurelic, him earlier, he said that he's still going with Ohio State for as Braylon Womack, and I definitely go off of him a lot because he don't crystal ball you unless he know for sure. You know what I'm saying? You're a guy that's gonna come to Ohio State, so definitely looking forward to see what Braylon Womack do. And then and telling from his interview that he had the other day with Buckeye Boys, he said that he was probably going to decide his commitment probably in July. I know he was speaking August the first, but he said it may be July now. So we may get a commitment from Braylon Womack in July, possibly, man. So definitely looking forward to that. He definitely had a great time building with Blaine Bradford and Simeon Caldwell and Jordan Thomas as well, man. So I love this picture. That's why I had to make this picture the thumbnail because this picture is fire, bro. Like these boys got they got the poo shiesties on in there, you know what I'm saying, red
Yeah.
out, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I love that picture. That's just fire. I mean, and of course, running back Derek Cooper from Chaminade Madonna, man, he was here. He had a great visit, man. I think Ohio State made a great impression with him, even though I've been hearing a lot of smoke around Miami for him. Deuce Gerald's. I think do I got that clip of Deuce Gerald's in here? Yep. Matter of fact, do I got it? No, I didn't. I didn't take that clip. So Deuce Gerald's, man, four-star D lineman from Georgia. He had a great visit and stuff. I know Ohio State is, coming closer and closer with him as well. Um, I mentioned KJ Ford and Landon Barrs, two edge rushers from Duncanville High School in Texas. Both of them was on their OV this past weekend with Ohio State. I'm hearing a lot of smoke for as KJ Ford with Penn State a little bit. Landon Barrs is kind of up in the air a little bit, but it looked like Ohio State made a good impression on him. Jacob Weatherspoon, the four-star commit from Avon in Ohio, cornerback. He was here, this past weekend as well. This guy, Damari Simeon, D lineman from New Jersey, three-star. He was here, and I'm hearing the Buckeyes made a great impression on him. So, and I just seen that they just gave him Will Fawn gave him a crystal ball earlier today. So he just got a crystal ball today for Ohio State. Deron Parks from Florida, offensive tackle. Um, JB Shabazz from North Carolina, another offensive tackle. Luke Fahey, the quarterback from Mission Viejo out there in California. Um, he ended up getting an offer from Ohio State this past weekend, and immediately after he got the offer and he left his visit and went back to Cali, he ended up getting the offer. I mean, he ended up not getting the offer. He ended up getting a crystal ball for him. So Ohio State looking like they're going to end up getting Luke Fahey, which is we spoke about that a couple of weeks ago about Luke Fahey, pretty much saying like they make the offer when he comes on this OV. You know what I'm saying? It look like we're gonna end up locking him in possibly. So we look like we may have as a quarterback for this 2026 class, man. And
Richard,
of course
Richard.
the Brock
You think
Boyd, the Roberts. wide receiver from Southlake, Texas. He was there for his official. And another guy, Jaquaden Guilford, wide receiver from Fort Wayne, Indiana. He was there for his official visit as well this past weekend. Now, I know he's about to announce. I got the list of the announcements these for these guys' visits coming up. Let's go ahead and kind of go ahead and share that. And so they got now. I know Max Sutter, that tight end. He was supposed to announce his commitment tonight. I haven't seen anything with him yet, so I'm definitely looking while we're on the show for sure. But let me see, let me see where I had these listed. All right, so of course tonight you got Max Sutter. He's announcing his commitment tonight. Then Jaquaden Guilford, wide receiver, he's going to be announcing his commitment tomorrow. Let alone with Damari Simeon, D lineman, and Jackson Ford, the edge rusher as well, all committing tomorrow. Then Saturday, you got Cameron Brickle, the three-star D lineman. And then Sunday, you got the five-star linebacker, Xavier Griffin from Georgia. He'll be making his commitment June 29th, even though I've heard smoke with Alabama pertaining to him. And then Emmanuel Ruffin, he'll be making his commitment for for July 4th, next Friday. And then just to add context to the visits, I mean, as far as the the commitments as well, Luke Fahey, he announced that he's going to be committing next Thursday on the third. So you got Luke Fahey going to be committing Thursday next week. So you got a lot of guys that we're targeting that's going to be committing tonight, all up until next week right now, man. And we gonna see what's cracking, man. We gonna see what's cracking. This 2026 class is shaping out pretty well, man, for sure. And we gonna definitely keep everybody informed what's going on for sure. I know I'm gonna try to get with T Mac so we can do like a little exclusive breakdown of the recruiting a little bit more in depth because we got hella topics to cover on the show tonight, man. So let's get to some of these other topics we got. So, alrighty, man. We seen the reaction. So Joe Clatt came out with 2025 college football games that will shape the season, and very interesting seeing him speak. Him put out this list of games and everything. Did y'all end up checking it out earlier when I posted it in the group?
I glanced at it a little bit, but I can't really
Okay.
remember because I started drinking.
Okay, then. So you got so you got all right. So he got 10 games. Of course, the first one is Texas at Ohio State, LSU at Clemson,
Hmm.
the Bums up north at Oklahoma, Texas A&M at Notre Dame, Oregon at Penn State, USC at Illinois, Alabama at Georgia, Penn State at Ohio State, LSU at Alabama, then the Ohio State at the Bums up north for Joe Clatt's 10 games that will shape the 2025 season. What do y'all think about this list in particular?
I
He should
love
have
that we on
added
there 3 times.
South Carolina, Alabama. I like that too. I like that too. I think he
Yeah,
should have
this
added South
Michigan versus
Carolina at
Oklahoma.
Alabama.
I would say the
I
South
got
Carolina Alabama game. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm kind of surprised he got
And
USC
I got
Illinois on there. I don't know. He thinking that game gonna be a key game?
I love it
hell
because
no.
that's what's going to do for 10 games, 10 wins.
Hell no. But I think the South Carolina Alabama should have replaced that game, and that's just my opinion. But
So
yeah, I mean it's not a
I got
bad
a hard
list.
time on after the last year that Michigan and Oklahoma put out there. Why is that shaping the NFL? Is that shaping the bottom of the top tier of college football teams? Like, I don't understand.
They got high
They
expectations
both.
for Oklahoma. Oklahoma's expected to be better.
I mean,
It's
they're
kind of hard
high
to beat.
on Oklahoma a little bit because I think they're looking at their defense and they're looking at the quarterback that they got out of the portal that got material from Washington State. They think he's going to be way better than Jackson Arnold. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that's what they're looking at for pertaining to that for real. But I mean, I think the
Yeah.
game like the list. I like the list. I mean, understand why he has these games picked, especially like the Texas A&M game. Um, the Texas A&M game is like versus Notre Dame. You remember that game last year? That was a big game last year for Notre Dame, where it kind of got them started because they ended up getting that win over Texas A&M last year. So I can see them definitely with that game, with them having a home and home series as far as that. LSU at Alabama, of course, that's a rival game. Penn State at Ohio State, rival game. Alabama versus Georgia, rival game. LSU at Clemson. I think that's an early game. I think that's week one. I think for the both of those teams. LSU at Clemson is going to be a banger. Like that's going to be a game to watch for sure.
Yeah. I'm not that high on Clemson. I think I think they were better last year than they'll be this year. Um, and yeah, I mean, other than that uh, Oklahoma game with them guys, I don't see anything else wrong with the list for real.
Yeah, it's not a bad
Yeah,
list. It ain't a bad list. I just think that the Illinois LSU game shouldn't be on there. I don't know why he put that on there. I don't know. Is he thinking like the Big Ten gonna be tough or that? I mean, I don't see how that game's gonna matter in any type of way.
yeah. I think it's a little bit more because they high on Illinois, and then they hopeful for USC to make some noise as well.
I mean, I don't see. I don't know. I mean, I think that game will be a real good game. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like the general landscape, that game ain't gonna matter or do anything. You know what I'm saying? As far as playoffs is concerned, I had neither team, neither LSU or Illinois making their playoffs anyway.
You know, somebody had Illinois though.
Yeah,
It was
Gus
me.
did.
I
He
was
was
somebody.
smart.
Absolutely. All right, so we could go to the next topic. So I didn't get the as far as let me go ahead. So of course, man, we had some Buckeye commits that was at the Rivals.com camp series this past weekend. Well, a couple of days ago, not this past weekend, a couple of days ago. And I got a few clips. I got like three clips, man. I want to share. You know what I'm saying? And get your opinion on some of these real quick. So the first one is Sam Greer, the offensive tackle, Ohio State commit that we got from Archbishop Hoban, man. And this is what it is right here.
Yeah, yeah, we saw that one. That's the
Yeah.
first one.
Why do
You
stand up
saw?
like that at the
Oh,
end? Like,
Why what?
Hey man, I don't know why he stood up like that. That was crazy. Sam Greer, man, you gotta like. That's why I was telling. I showed TV the clip before we went live, and I was like, man, you gotta love that aggression he got in the trenches, man. Sam Greer, man, he's gonna be a dog, bro. I'm telling you, he's a guy that can. He got first round potential for some reason. I feel from him.
yeah, for sure.
mm.
Then you got
You like,
another one right here. This one is Corey Wilder, the edge rusher that just committed to Ohio State this past week. This is him going against Felix Ojo right here. So this is interesting right here.
oh, that whole.
Hey, hey, you gotta like it, man. Them Buckeyes that are showing up, man. They're showing out, man. Felix Ojo, man. Hey, you better come to Ohio State to get that work in, man. You see Corey Wilder going crazy, and I like that kid, Corey
Uh-huh.
Wilder. He's a kid that they think that you can play him on the outside, on the edge, and play him on the inside at tackle. I mean, so very versatile kid from Corey Wilder right there, man. Definitely was a big commit for us. And I got this other clip right here. This is Favor Aki, running back, Ohio State commit that we got from Delaware, Ohio, right here, man. On this one, and this was crazy.
I'm right there.
That boy
I gotta,
stride.
I gotta run that back one more time. Hold on.
he said I'm what?
I'm right
Fast.
Hey, he smoked dude right there, man. Like he had him beat bad, man, and the ball was underthrown, man, too. Like that man does a back. Favorite King does a backflip, and then he screams, "I'm like that." I'm like, you see all three of those clips right there from these three Buckeye commits. All of them got passion, man, and intensity in they play, man, and I love to see it, man, for sure, bro, for sure. What y'all think about those clips?
Well, the
Go
first one
ahead,
with
Craig.
dude said that's crazy. The second one, dude's Kari's gonna be a monster, bro. He got that what do they call it, that dog in him. Like you could tell
Yeah,
he some competitors. Like that's why they say they can move him anywhere on the line. I'm definitely excited about him. I didn't know as much about the running back, but that dude stride. Oh, he fast, dog. He got them long
fast
strides
as
like
hell, bro.
Yeah.
you ain't gonna catch him.
Favorite Key, I like him, bro. I definitely like Favorite Key. He definitely he definitely one of them guys, man, for real. That I'm like, okay, I like him. I like him. I like him. He gonna only gonna get better. He gonna be kind of a development guy. He ain't gonna be like one of them. Like he ain't on no Bo Jackson status, but he a guy that you can see probably play at Ohio State year three. You know what I'm saying? Like it probably won't be the first couple of years the way the depth chart is looking right now, man.
You never know who gets mad transfers.
Yeah,
For sure.
that's true.
All right, so we're gonna do these schedule predictions, man. Notre Dame, that's the first one, man, that we doing tonight. The Fighting Irish, man. And I was like, man, we gotta do Notre Dame, man. Good ball coach over there, Marcus Freeman, man. The national runner ups, you know what I mean? The
More than
runners
a good
up, you know what I'm saying? You
he,
feel me?
he more than a good coach. I'm motherfucking top five for real.
Great coach for sure. Definitely top five in my opinion right now.
Yeah, we
So
played him.
first game they got, man, they starting the season off at Miami right there, and then they got Texas A&M at home. Then they got Purdue at home. Then they got Arkansas. Then they're at Arkansas, and then they have Boise State at home. Then they're back at home again against North Carolina State. And then they have the rival game with USC at home. They got three home games back to back right there. Then they got Boston College at Boston College. Then they're back at home against Navy.
Yeah.
And then they're at Pittsburgh. Then they're back at home against Notre Dame for their senior day. And then they have Stanford at Stanford for their last game to close the season out right here. Not gonna lie, those first two games is bangers for them. Starting off with Miami and Texas A&M out the gate.
I don't think I have a
Yeah,
problem with Miami.
facts.
I think they're gonna lose one or two games, either A and M or Boise. And then I'm gonna pick Navy, but that's just me. That's that bias shit. I'll give you that one. Other
Yeah,
than that,
man. You know what happened to Navy last year, man, when they played when Notre Dame played them, man. They gave them their first L.
I already know. I mean,
And
Navy's just they
it
just run
was
it
it was horrific too. They got
They not,
gory in
they not,
that motherfucker last year.
right.
yeah, they're not
But
losing
like,
to Boise, but I can see them losing to A&M, but they're not losing to Boise.
right. That's what I mean. That's what I'm thinking. They're gonna get one loss, and it's gonna be one of them two games.
I mean,
I
look
think.
at the stress you got. I'll take that Miami game because we went over the Miami schedule last week. That Miami game right there, I'll take Notre Dame in that game. You know what I mean? But that's a
Yeah.
50-50 game. And the
And
Texas
it's true.
A&M game, that's going to be a big one right there. That Texas A&M game is definitely big as well. So I'll lean Notre Dame in that game because they're at home. And then
I
Purdue,
think the A&M
definitely
game.
that's a
I
dub.
think the A&M game gonna be harder than the gonna be tougher than the Boise. No, no, my bad.
Now
Yeah,
that
I think the A&M game is gonna be tougher than the Miami game. My bad. That's my
Oh, I agree with that.
we don't even know who Miami quarterback is. Who's Miami's quarterback?
I
you
don't think
so
we
you
know.
think y'all so because that's a clip that I ain't get to share. I'm gonna post that clip too. So we thinking Miami ain't going to be talented as some of the media portrays. The
No,
media portraying that Miami has a lot of talent over there, and they gonna be a little bit more better this year. Saying on both sides of the ball.
you need to be a lot better on defense. I know they're in the ACC, but against Notre Dame and that's like um, Big Ten almost. Top of the Big Ten. I the ACC's defense as a whole last year
Yeah,
was this. I think Clemson only had the decent one, but I don't even think they were that good defensively. So yeah, I see them with one
yeah.
loss and maybe zero. Like their schedule, like they don't got huge names, and they kind of like just average ass teams from big conferences the whole way. But I that they're really cupcakes, man. Purdue,
Yeah,
Arkansas, everything but A&M is for real a cupcake.
yeah. I don't know how strong Arkansas is gonna be this year. Purdue, that's definitely a dub. The Boise State game, that's a dub. North Carolina State, that's a
Who's
dub.
ass?
USC, that's a dub. Boston College, that's a
That's a
dub.
rivalry
Navy,
game
that's
though,
a
so I
dub.
Easy,
don't know.
easy.
You
Pittsburgh,
gotta be
that's a
careful with the
dub.
rivalry games.
Syracuse, now I'm telling you, Syracuse, that's a sleeper game. That's a sleeper game for them. That Syracuse game. That coach Fran Brown down there, he trying to turn Syracuse up there, man, for sure. All right, so that's a sleeper game, that Syracuse game. Like I
Who's
say,
that?
the sleeper games for him is the sleeper games for him on the schedule is, of course, the Syracuse game. The USC is a rival game, so I'm not going to even add that in the sleeper category. The Arkansas can be a sleeper game. That could be because it's at Arkansas, so that could be a sleeper game right there with them. And you can probably say the Navy game if they ain't on their shit. If they ain't disciplined in that option, because Navy they run that option superb.
That's all they run.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams don't see that. The only three teams I know that's running it is fucking Air Force, Navy, and Army. I don't know no other teams that's running the option right now other than them three.
Not like that. That's for
You
sure.
know, I wonder why that is. Like, I mean, I ain't trying to add a topic on. We can maybe make it this week, but I just wonder why
No,
they're
we can
not
talk
trying to
about it a little
modernize
bit.
their offense. I
Oh,
just
I
wonder
can
why
tell
they're
I
you.
not trying to
mean,
modernize the offense.
go ahead, Crush. You guys say so. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because of tradition and being so faithful to history, and that's how the armed forces are.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Never gonna change. They are who they are, and they're good with it. You know what I mean? They're gonna come in there and they're gonna beat you up. Like either you run us out the gym, or you're gonna get beat up the whole game. And they're probably the only ones that have a fullback on the field 75% of the time. It's probably more than that for them, or especially Navy. But yeah, it's all about tradition.
yeah. And then even to
Yeah.
add to it, like they've been running the option for years, and it's just like that is just in their DNA. Like, and me personally, like if I was, this is me. If I was a coach, I would be running the option. I'd be in the spread. I have a multiple offense where I'm gonna give you a look at everything. You have to prepare for everything. 'Cause that's just me, but
Yeah.
I mean, I love them
I
running
get
the
that,
option though, because
but they running the
a lot
option.
of
They
teams
running the
they
option.
can't prepare for it.
But they running the option, bro. Out of like the full house though. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's their main formation. Like I'm cool with
Where they
that, but
got
like, come
different,
on, man, run.
you know what the options now though, they got different. It's so like because if you watch them, they run the option in multiple different ways and stuff though, like in different shit. So like
Okay,
they're very
okay,
versatile
okay,
with the option
okay.
game, like especially now.
That's what I was
I
getting
mean,
at. That's
Another part
yeah,
too
that's what I was
is
getting at. Go ahead,
another
coach. I'm
part too
listening.
is lacking the talent, the schools that they playing. Because your main goal there is to serve. It's not. I mean, it is football for 4 years or whatever for you, but you didn't sign up to play football. You signed up for the armed forces. So uh, all these other D1 recruits ain't gonna do that. So they're gonna be probably bigger, stronger, and faster. So the option allows for them to make mistakes and they capitalize on them. That makes sense. It kind of hides
Okay, yeah,
the
that makes
talent difference.
facts,
yeah.
facts, facts, man.
Another quick question. How does it
What
work with the armed forces if they get drafted?
Like usually you get a
Jay
chip.
Crest would know better than me on that one.
You get a chit. Like you gotta think. You literally sign up for 4 or 5 years, right? Your first term's 4 or 5 years if you go full active duty, right? And the Navy
Right.
Mm-hmm.
those are all officers. There's hardly any enlisted men there. So like, you know what I mean? There's things you got to do before you go to get into officer school as opposed to just going in the general um, full duty or whatever. So like with David Robinson, he got it like his time excused. He ain't had to go do nothing else or whatever. You know what I mean? They signed the waiver so he could end his term as the Navy to go do professional basketball and market the
Yeah.
Navy. Like you know what I mean? So like that's like a side job because you're still probably getting paid even though you're going to
Mm-hmm.
go to the league. You know what I mean? And I don't know how the NIL actually works with the armed forces teams, which is something I actually want to dive into. That'd be something I'm gonna fucking.
Yeah.
Sorry,
That's a great
I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
that
question.
looking
is
That's a
interesting.
great
because I
question.
wonder how the NIL affects them and if it does, because they're kind of already under contract. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just
Yeah,
talk myself into a whole question. I got to go figure out. Sorry.
yeah, that's a great question though. How the NIL with the armed forces? That's a great question. I never even thought about that until just now. So yeah, that'll be yeah. I'm gonna look into that. Maybe we talk about that in the chat. But yeah, that's a
You want to talk
great
about
question.
NIL money, man? Them armed forces teams that have the most.
Facts. So overall, man, with Notre Dame's schedule, man, the way they schedule look like, man, what y'all giving them out of 12 games?
No
11-1.
less. Yeah,
11-1.
they'll be a
Yeah,
top three heading into the tournament.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
11-1.
I'm right along with y'all. I'm believing 11-1. The only game I'm seeing them lose is either that Miami or Texas A&M game, and I think they can win either one of them. It's a scenario where they could run the table and be 12-0. But I at least
What's
give
your
them at
upset
least
alert?
one.
Which my upset alert game? My upset alert game. I think they're going 11-1. I'm confident in that. But my upset alert game is that is the USC game only because it's a rivalry game.
I'm not mad at that.
That's
Uh, I would say that the upset game for them, it's not even really upset game. The real true game that I feel like they can really lose is
A&M.
that, like I said, is that A&M. A&M. That
yeah.
Miami
That's
game
my
is
one
that's
loss.
another one too, though. This is really between them two. But I wouldn't be surprised if these guys go 12-0. I wouldn't be surprised, man, for real.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised either. I would definitely wouldn't be surprised. I got them losing. The A&M game is my one loss in my 11-1 prediction. You know what I'm saying? I don't see them losing, bro. I think they're gonna beat Miami by 2 scores, bro. Honestly,
I do too. I
I
think
think, I think, I think,
in my dream
I think
scenario,
Crush,
their schedule.
I think Crush right dead on with the defense.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Well,
I would say
shit, you
you
tell me
right.
I'm right off
I would
there.
say
I'll
you
shut
dead
up.
on. I think you dead on about the defense. You dead on about
Yeah.
the defense.
Oh, their defense is gonna be nasty. Which is why I think the only game they'll actually struggle defensively is it could be Navy. I don't see any other. I mean, even with Carson Beck and all them guys down in Miami, like I don't see them messing up like that. Like they don't got JJ down there. You know what I mean? They don't.
Yeah,
They got
yeah,
Carson Beck
I agree.
and Navy plays that. I'm gonna keep talking about it because I love them, but I just the way they play is different. So
Yo,
yeah, they can throw
that
the ball. They can throw
that honestly
a
the defense too,
yeah.
because teams don't really like prepare day in, week in, and week out for that option offense. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like,
It's hard. It's
I think
hard for you to with like your personnel. Your personnel may
yeah,
not be able to run the option.
right or defend it.
Absolutely.
Cause I think yeah.
You
So
got to be
I mean, I can
very
see the
disciplined.
option,
Notre
but
Dame was, I would say, for that game last year, Notre Dame was very disciplined with that option against Navy last year in that game last year for sure.
mhm.
I want to point something else out too that I just noticed. That Navy game's a night game. They got one, two, three, four night games and three to be determined. So they already got four night games. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's that NBC deal they got, man. You know they love playing Notre Dame at night, man. They get all the love on NBC.
I don't know what else is going
Notre
on
Dame,
November 8th, but I'm gonna have that turn on.
bro. They love Notre Dame like the NFL love the Cowboys, bro.
Facts. Facts. It's
You know
that
what I'm saying?
old
It
school
is. That's why they want. That's why they won't bring their ass to the Big Ten.
facts.
They love that independent money, man. They want to pocket all that independent money. They ain't trying to share nothing.
They're gonna have to
Nope.
pick the SEC or Big Ten. I know who they're gonna pick though.
They gonna have to pick a side soon. They gotta pick a side
Oh, they
soon
coming to the Big
eventually.
Ten. They coming to the Big
Definitely.
Ten.
It's Midwest, bro. It's definitely Big Ten for them.
All
Let's
right,
say
so we
State
can
Big
go into
Ten
the
and
next schedule with
go ahead.
LSU, man, 2025 season, man. Of course, they started the season off. We mentioned it earlier. They starting off at Clemson, week one, and then they got a home game against Louisiana Tech. Then they're back at home for their first SEC game versus Florida. And then they got a home game versus Southeastern Louisiana. And then they're at Ole Miss. Then back at home against South Carolina. Then they're at Vanderbilt. Then back at home against Texas A&M. Then they're at Alabama November 8th, by the way, Crutch. And
Woo.
then they're back at home against Arkansas. Then they're back at home against Western Kentucky for senior night. That's that little bullshit SEC game that they always have towards the end of the year.
right.
And they're end of the year out at Oklahoma. So how y'all feeling about this LSU schedule right here?
This is the toughest one
Yo,
we covered so far.
yeah, yeah.
They got
Yo,
cupcakes in
Yeah,
there.
this is a tough schedule.
hold on, real
This is
quick,
definitely
Cam.
tough.
Can you run through the last 3 games you said, bro? I apologize.
On the Yeah, the last three was at home against Arkansas, then at home against Western Kentucky for senior night, and then at Oklahoma for their senior
Okay,
day.
okay, all right.
Go ahead, Crutch. My bad.
I mean, I think they're going to lose to either Clemson or Florida. I don't think Florida's that good, but I don't think I think their LSU will be better in both of those teams. But I think they're going to lose one of those games, and then they're going to lose one of the back-to-backs on Ole Miss, South Carolina, or Vanderbilt, and then there's another loss with Texas A&M or Alabama, and then they beat the last three games are easy, but this is a 3-loss team. At least it's Brian Kelly back there too. So like, you know what I mean? This is at least a 3-loss team. Joe Burrow and Jamar and Justin Jefferson ain't there no more.
This is a tough ass
Yeah.
schedule, bro. For real, I ain't gonna lie. This is tough. Besides, like the Louisiana Tech and Southeastern Louisiana and Western Kentucky game. I mean, the at Clemson out the gate. Like that's a big game out the gate right there at Clemson. Death Valley, they gonna be turned the hell up there at Clemson. They're gonna be turned up there, man.
If it wasn't for Ohio State, Texas, that would be the game of the week.
For real, that's gonna be the prime. Well, yeah, I guess this will be the prime time game because they got it at 6:30 p.m. On ABC. So I'm assuming that's gonna be the prime time game that weekend.
7:30. Yup.
Is
Yeah,
that a Sunday day? Is that on Sunday?
August 30th? Nah, that's a Saturday.
Oh, that's Saturday. Okay, all right. I had to look at the date
Saturday night.
myself
So
real
like
quick.
that, they were. I
Yeah,
guess.
so they got the prime time game on ABC that night.
They got ABC that night because I would say I thought the SEC had CBS.
Yeah, they got a contract with ESPN too. So
Yeah, you right.
yeah, so they definitely I mean, looking at the schedule, bro, like at Clemson, that's a 50-50 game right there, man.
Clemson, I don't think gonna be that good, man. I just don't understand why people so. I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm biased on my hatred on Clemson. I just don't like them. So I don't know.
I don't think they're that good either. But I don't think
them.
LSU's up there with Ohio State and those names either. You know what I mean? I like, as their company or whatever, as their college or whatever. I think they're up there, but like their teams since Orgeron, like yeah, they got players, but
I agree.
they ain't doing nothing. Brian Kelly ain't coach dudes any better. So
Brian Kelly talking all that shit like he want to play the Big Ten. Like, bro, you don't want that smoke. Your teams that you coach not even can't compete with Ohio State's. Sorry, that's my opinion though. Like,
yeah,
I don't
man.
think Brian Kelly coaches his
probably,
teams in a way where he can compete. You know what I'm saying?
they're high. I would say they're high on this LSU offense that they have, and they think the defense is going to be more stronger this year. So, and plus they got the quarterback Nussmeier back, which they believe in Nussmeier, the quarterback for LSU, is going to be a first rounder. They got him like rated to be in the first round for this next year's draft in the NFL. So, I mean, they got some guys over there at LSU. This Clemson game, I think it's a pure 50-50 game. So that's a toss-up game to me right there. As far as LSU at Clemson, that's a game I can fuck around and give them an L in that game and think Clemson to beat them in that game.
I can't see it.
Yeah,
I can't see that.
I see it.
I can't see that. I can't see that. LSU quarterback, he give me Andy Dalton vibes though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think that's too much credit. And you know how I feel about Andy Dalton.
Louisiana Tech, that's a dub. The Florida game, like the Florida game, that Florida game, that's a 50-50 game right now. You know what I mean? Southeastern LA, Louisiana, that's a dub. The Ole Miss game, that's another 50-50 game for them. South Carolina, they got Ole Miss and South Carolina back to back. Like that's another 50-50 game. And Vanderbilt,
if they win both of those games, they're in the playoffs. If they win both of those games, they're in the playoffs.
So, yeah, I agree. I don't think
They
they
won
will,
both of
but
those.
yeah. Did you see their first 4 games are night games? They got La Tech
Yep.
and Southeastern
The first what?
Louisiana as
The first say that one more time.
the first 4 games. Clemson, Louisiana Tech, Florida, Southeastern Louisiana, night games. Every other one's to be determined. So they can end up
Right.
with 5 night games.
And then
The
even the
Alabama,
Alabama and the Western Kentucky games are both night games.
it's
They're gonna
crazy.
mess around and have damn
They
near
don't like
eight.
giving.
They're
They
gonna
don't
have
like
like
giving the
eight
Bucks
night games,
Bucks
dog.
night games.
To fucking lose 3 of them? Oh,
We don't,
goddamn.
man. It pisses me off because of the Buckeye. We don't get no love on a night game, dog. Like that damn Fox deal, bro.
Fucking
I
Big
know
Ten.
I mean,
I know they don't like that deal now. Looking back at it, now for real.
You know how
bro,
much
I'm probably the
national.
only one in the group though, bro, that don't care about that, man. Like we play better at noon. Like I don't care about the night games, man. Like I don't know why the fans want the night games so bad. Me
Cause the
Did you
personally,
play?
I like
atmosphere,
waking up at
man.
9
Hold on.
a.m.
Come on. Did you
I
play?
like waking up at 9 a.m. eating eggs and bacon, watching Ohio State.
Right. I mean,
I
as
like
a
that.
as a fan
I enjoy that.
perspective, I definitely feel you because then I can start drinking earlier in the day, and my wife knows I ain't gonna be shit after that. So I'm all the way for that. You hear what I'm saying? As a fan, but as a player, playing under them lights, dog, was totally different than playing during the daytime. It was a whole different energy.
Mm,
You know what I mean? I
But
loved under the lights.
you
Eh,
yeah.
just thinking the energy of the playoff game, bro. Like Tennessee, bro, how it was that night, bro. As far as that game, I know it's the playoffs, but just that energy, bro. Playing the top, top 10 team, bro. Like that energy is unmatched right there, bro. Like, and it put fear in the team. Just thinking why Texas, the motherfuckers didn't want to play that Sunday night the next day because they already know, like. They know how it was gonna be turned up at the stadium at the shoe.
But I think didn't the
Facts.
players say they prefer the noon game? They ain't trying to wait all day. You know what I'm saying? Players ain't trying to wait all day. They ain't trying to wait till 7, 8 o'clock to get that game going, bro. I like
Ohio State players,
teams' days early.
Ohio State
Ruin
players
their
got
day
dreams,
early.
bro, on the next level. So like, the more lights, the more
They
eyes
gonna get
on you.
that
You know,
regardless.
that's what you
And
want.
it helped
The
out in
more,
They gonna get.
recruiting too.
more lights and more eyes, bro. And nationwide,
How would
more to be on you
how
because
would it
it's
help
only
our recruiting?
Yeah,
it's not.
because
How would it help our
know
recruiting?
it helped. Well, on some of them Friday nights when you got some of the players coming from out of town, some of them ain't able to make those noon games. But they come in. If it's a night game, they're able to get in, settle in a little bit, and be able to experience the night game. You know what I mean? So it do help in as far as the scheduling for some of the recruits as well.
I'm gonna add to that as
What
far as
percentage?
you know what's gonna help. It's gonna help the motherfucking crazy superstar that's in like Montana or somewhere Washington, all the way up north by Canada, that never even like watched Ohio State, and then you get the coverage and their college game days there and everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're watching this shit. So like the night games
Right. Then
helps
you
with
the
the
main
action.
game of the night game. Like you the prime time game at night. Like everybody's watching you.
What percentage right of help you think that will help the recruiting? You think that will
Five,
put a dent?
three,
It, it,
three to
it
five.
don't put a dent in it at all. It helps 100. It helps 100%. Now, if I gave a percentage, like I'm saying, it's a high percentage. I want probably
Because we
30,
getting all these
40.
great players. We're getting all these
I
great players and
know
playing
I'm
on the
telling
new
you.
games.
But guess what? We trying to get the best players nationally, right? To come play for us, the national best players. So the more exposure we have to national, like we're always going to be
Right.
on big news, whatever. They're always Big Ten Network. We're always going to be shown. But when there's a bunch of games at noon, as a fan, you're gonna watch your game first, and then piece everything else together with highlights and flipping channels or whatever. But when the primetime game comes on, there's one to pick from or two to pick from. You know what I'm saying? And usually the other one's something crazy like LSU versus Louisiana Tech at night. Like, you know what I mean? So if we get more
Right.
Ohio State games at night, the national buzz around Ohio State, which is like the Cowboys, like you said, nationwide, we probably got the most fans spread out. But if we can get more fans spread out, that brings, you know what I mean? It's more attention, more focus. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? The camera shit when
Absolutely.
you turn it around
I
to
mean,
get it in focus.
right.
Because
I
I
look at it
kept hearing
as
from recruits, like the recruits, they like recently they so for some of the interviews they'd be talking, they'd be saying like, no, yeah, I watched Ohio State, throughout the playoffs and stuff and everything, because some of those games, a lot of those games are prime time games. So like that, like Ohio State now, it ain't. No, it's not without a doubt. All of these kids are watching Ohio State for sure now. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And since
Now I
Matt
know
ain't on,
some of the.
I say it too. Like Matt ain't on here, ain't gonna get on me. But um, the night games and all of that, like shit. Never mind. I lost my train of thought. Never mind. My fault.
Yeah, you
Interrupt.
good. All right, so LSU just does doubling back on their schedule, man. Just looking at it for us, the schedule. What would y'all give them an overall record for this season?
9-3 at best.
Yeah, yeah, I'm probably about the same. I'm like 9-3, 8-4. The way this schedule looks, they ain't making the playoffs.
I will say I think they'll be better in a couple teams that get into the playoffs, but they had the hardest schedule. And with them
What's
not being like Ohio State,
they?
it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, this Coleman is saying. I don't got them losing to Clemson, so I don't know. I'm thinking no. I think they're the number one team.
You got 10?
And then 10-2 team. I think the signal was going out a little bit, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
heard
think that I got them at least like I'm with you probably about 9-3, 8-4. I mean, this schedule is just too tough for them just to run the table, bro. Like it's tough, bro. And I don't know how strong I believe their defense is going to be stronger this year, but I don't know how good their defense is going to be if it's going to be better than what they had last year for real. And with this schedule, they're going to get a lot of work in this schedule
Right around the
for
corner.
sure. So we can go ahead
I
and
agree
jump
Yeah,
to
for
the
percent.
sure.
next joint, man. Um, oh, you good, bro? T Mac said they had a major breakdown at work, so he wasn't gonna be able to pop on here. You all good, man. All right, so um, the next topic,
You from Philly?
um, Florida State, Florida State quarterback Thomas Castellanos says Nick Saban won't save them. He ain't there to save Alabama anymore. He said he don't see Bama stopping him. And remember, Florida State, they got their first game against Alabama week 1. And they had an interview with South Carolina's quarterback, and they told they asked Lenora Sellers about Thomas Thomas
Castellano.
Castellanos. They asked Sellers about his statement on from that, and he said Bama is still Bama and everything. So um, Thomas Castellanos out there, man, he's saying that Bama, Nick Saban ain't there to save them, and they ain't stopping him, man. What y'all think about his statement on that?
My honest opinion is, yeah, especially your quarterback's supposed to say shit like that. Like, yeah, be confident in yourself. But Bama gonna smoke them, dog. Florida State ain't what they used to be. How many wins they got in the last 3 years? What, 6, 7? Oh my God, dude. I love the nose. Like, Deion Sanders went there. That's why my number was 2, because he was Number 2 in college when I was coming up as a fucking toddler. You know what I mean? Prime was my guy.
Yeah.
So Charlie Ward, Ward Gunn, Anquan Bolden. I go through 1,000 Florida State players, but Florida State ain't what it used to be. I was hoping Prime would move on from Colorado and come save the Noles, but that's not happening. So there's so much competition in Florida, and now like Bama and Ohio State, everybody taking players out of Florida. Florida State, I don't see them ever getting back to being Florida State. But I respect what he said as, a player. Like, you're supposed to have confidence in yourself.
Yeah. Supposed to have confidence. You're supposed to have confidence. You know why having confidence? Like I always say, though, that game played on the field.
Thanks. Now, I don't know about him talking about all that Bama, you know what I'm saying, as far as not stopping him and shit. You know what I mean? Florida State, the way they looked last year, yeah, I know they got a lot of guys in the portal and everything, but they just looked so bad last year, bro. I just don't have no confidence in Florida State that much at all this year, bro. Like, it is a dumpster fire at Florida State. And Mike Norvell, if he have another bad season, he gonna be up out of there.
Yo, they chose him and somebody else over Prime. I bet they regret that like heavily. I bet they do.
No, I don't think Prime wanted to go there because they were so bad.
Prime
Like,
said,
you know what I mean?
Prime said that they chose somebody else.
I think he was talking about Novell because they already had
Well,
him on a contract.
well, I think Norvell was there early, like a year before he made his move to Colorado.
Yeah.
Right. I was talking about after he went, like, this past offseason or whatever, when he knew Shadur was gone, he knew Shiloh was gone. I thought this was the year for Prime to move because, one, he set Colorado up, and he got him a top 2 recruit, a QB with Juju. And you know what I mean? I thought that'd be the time to leave because, like, look, like, I built your program up. I got you, a recruit. I got you Warren Sapp, and all these coaches are going to stay. That I got all these assistant ex-pros are going to stay, and then I'm going to go do what I got to do. But maybe, him getting all them assistant coaches what made him stay. That's when I thought Prime was going to move.
You already know. Prime ain't keeping his assistants there. They coming with him wherever he go if he was the lead. At least the majority of them, I would say. Majority of them.
On our
But I mean,
contract.
in the situation for us for the state, like with Prime, it was like Norvell was already there. He was at Jackson State when when Florida State hired Norvell. So they were already built over Norvell. So they wasn't like going to be in the midst where Prime wanted to leave Jackson State and go to a bigger program. They wasn't in play for him at that time. You know what I mean? So I mean, the thing is, it's kind of shaping out to be perfect because say Florida State do shit to bed this year. Palm, he can mess around and be like next year, like, yo, I'm gonna bring Juju Lewis with me to Florida State. I'm gonna bring my guys over here, my coaches and stuff, and we gonna turn it up. You know what I mean? So like that's a real live scenario that could possibly happen. And don't be surprised if that go down like that next year, bro. Because if Florida State, like I'm saying, if Mike Norvell and Florida State, if they shit the bed this year, he gonna be looking for another job, and that job will be open. And
I should have got fired
Colorado,
last year, to
it
be
might be
honest with
good
you, bro.
riddance from him with Prime, because Prime
He
gonna
should
end
have
up
got
messing
fired
around
last
and
year,
jumping.
bro. There was a top 10 team. There was a top 5 team before was game 1.
Yeah, but they wasn't gonna let Norvell leave. No, let him go. Like they weren't gonna let him go. Like after like the season they had the year before, then just having a bad year, they gonna at least try him out one more year to see what it is. Like even from like Florida State, like media, they all feel the same way. Like this is Mike Norvell like year. Like it's either put up or shut up. You don't get it together. We gonna mess around and buy that contract out.
So listen to this 6-game stretch of last year's Florida State, right? They played SMU. SMU was great last year or whatever, got smoked. Played Clemson, lost 29-13. Then they went to Duke, lost. Duke, not basketball. We're talking football, right? Go to
Right.
Miami, smoked, right? Then go to North Carolina and get smoked. Bill Belichick wasn't there yet, right? So that's Duke and North Carolina in football, right? And now they go to Notre Dame and get beat 52-3, dog. I don't even think
Yeah, they got
that's
smizzled.
worse
I
than
remember that game last year.
before they went before Prime
You should
went.
got
So
fired for that. You should got fired after that game.
fucking facts. He already had at least 4. You know what I mean? He already had his whole from recruiting his first freshmen are seniors now, or were seniors last year. And you went through that 6-game stretch, let alone the rest. Yeah, you
Right.
beat Charleston Southern. Congratulations. And then
Right.
Florida beat you 31-11. Florida,
Right.
31-11.
Right.
And you lost to Memphis to
Right.
start the season last year. And then you had Cal. And you won
Oh,
won
Crest,
14
was
to
it Memphis or
9
Georgia
against Cal.
Tech? Crest,
Bruh,
was it
Florida
Memphis or
State
Georgia Tech that lost to?
no. It's crazy, dog.
Hold on, Crest. Game 1 last year, it was Memphis, bro.
Memphis was the first game of the season last year. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I remember that they lost. I
Yeah.
remember them
Memphis
losing that Memphis game last year because we talked about
20,
it.
20 to
Yeah.
12. Boston College beat them
Wasn't that in a
by
different
15.
country too? Wasn't that in a different country?
No, I don't think that one was. They had one. Might have been that one.
I think their
No,
first
like
game
the first
their
season.
first game was in a different country.
So their first 4 before the 6 that I mentioned went like this: Florida State at Georgia Tech lost.
Yes.
Boston
That was out of
College,
country.
Florida State doubled them up. Memphis beat them by 8, 20 to 12. And then they beat Cal 14 to 9. Cal, not Aaron Rodgers Cal, not Deshaun Jackson Cal, now Cal. You know what I mean?
Not
Oh,
Marshawn Lynch, Cal.
you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. Like, how does this dude still have a job at Florida State? Like, bro, these the nose. Like, they was huge when we was growing up. Peter Warrick's another one. Ron Dugans. Y'all remember them Bengals fans. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy how Florida State fell off, and Florida for that matter.
Yo, let me ask you this question. This kind of goes a little backtrack to last week's topic or the last show's topic when we talked about Urban Meyer. But Kretsch, you made me think about this question, you know, with your take here. So let me ask this question, quick question, real quick. No way in hell do I believe this is going to happen. So this is like a crazy hypothetical question, but it's relevant to the conversation. So
God damn it, spit it out.
Ryan Day loses to Purdue and fucking Northwestern and has an 8-game season after winning the Natty. Should he be fired?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to know your
Do
opinion
I
on that.
think they will lose? No, I don't think they can lose these
Hell
games
no. Hell
anymore
no. That's why I
because of
said that
2000.
will never happen. I just wanted to know your
Yeah.
mentality as far as the expectation. I'm not saying that will ever happen. That's not my take. I will just
Urban
have
Meyer
a
told
crazy
us.
hypothetical.
Urban Meyer told us you get an 8-win season at Ohio State, you out of there, bro. And we ain't even talking
Even
Luke
after a
Fickle.
natty? Even after a natty?
Nah, he'll give him another year, but there's no way we lose to Purdue's and that kind of shit.
No. Absolutely not. That was a great for the people watching. That was just a
Yeah.
crazy hypothetical because we talk about Norville, how we said Norville had that good year and then the following year. You know what I'm saying? But Florida State's expectations aren't Ohio State expectations, but they are a storied program, you know, with good history. You know what I mean? So as some
Right.
great players that you named, Chris. So that's why I wanted to know, like, what if how y'all felt about that. But we can move on.
Now, like growing up, Florida State was my second favorite, and then it was the U when Ed Reed got there and all, and you know that last run of the U. Although we did get the ring off them, so number 1 won. But Florida State's
Yeah.
always been one of my favorite. Like I got my dad to name my double ABC baseball team the Knowles, and we all had jerseys and shit like that with the spear and the feathers and shit off it. Like that was my shit. Man. Like
I was the same way. My WNBC team was the Braves. We had so yeah.
same shit.
But yeah, I was
Yeah,
just curious.
man.
because they should have. Because I agree with you, Chris, on your overall. Because I felt like he should have been fired. You know what I'm saying? I think Norville should have been gone. It's my opinion,
Without
but
a
we can
doubt.
move on.
All right, so getting on to the next topic, man. So I remember we was talking. We covered that quarterback, the 5-star quarterback from California, Ryder Lyons, a few weeks ago. He committed to BYU last night, but the
Morning.
Wow.
thing is he won't start playing for BYU till 2027 due to, BYU got their whole religious situation where, they be going on the missions and stuff like that. So he's going to be going on the mission for 2 years. He's not going to play for BYU until the 2027 season, man. So nasty work. Ohio State was going after this kid, and I knew we was a long shot from getting him. He was more so on the Cali side, West Coast side more so. And he commits to BYU, and he's not gonna play till 2027, man. What y'all feel about this?
I hope it was the right move for him. I just I couldn't go to Utah. You know what I mean? I couldn't go to BYU. The same reason I couldn't go to Notre Dame. You know what I mean? I just couldn't do it. So I can't put myself in their shoes. But I hope it's the right move for him, and I hope it makes him closer and stronger to God and all that other stuff. So I pray the best for him. He ain't gonna win nothing.
Hey, they party at Notre Dame, by the way, but I agree with your overall take.
Oh, it's Catholic girls, bro. It's Catholic girls.
Well,
Yes, they do.
well, breaking news
Oh,
right here while we live. Max Sutter commits to Alabama. And
no!
I figured I knew he was gonna commit to Alabama, bro. I knew it. I knew it. I knew he was gonna commit to Alabama for some reason. Like when I seen the list of schools he had, like as far as his top four, like us, Alabama, I think uh he had he said us, Alabama, Illinois, and Ole Miss. Like I just knew he was gonna go to Alabama, dog. They got them a good one with that one.
Yeah,
Um,
they did.
my opinion, as far as Ryder Lions, man, hey, you know, do your thing, man. Now, me personally, as a coach, I wouldn't have been trying to get him if he was gonna be on some 2 years sitting out handling his business on the religious side and everything. I think that kind of maybe push the back on some of the schools from him a little bit on that end, maybe. But BYU, that's I mean that it's surprising they must be giving him a good NIL. It's crazy because they got the number one player in basketball going to BYU. He's from Utah, so they got him to stay home. Now they got Ryder Lyons, a 5-star quarterback, but he ain't gonna play for 2 years.
That's good though. Like they're in 2 years they're gonna have another top 25 team. I was high on Ryder Lyons. I think he's gonna be a good quarterback. Um, I just hope that he can have a professional career on top of it, like a real one. Um, BYU
Right.
quarterbacks should last in the NFL because of I don't want to say like the locker room. Well, no, I do. The locker room atmosphere and everything that comes with it, and your teammates and understanding your teammates and you know what I mean,
Uh-huh.
working through those
Right.
relationships. I hope he has it. I think he has it. I'm
Yo,
hoping
didn't
he
Steve
has
Young
it.
go to BYU?
Yes. No. Was it BYU?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it
Steve
was.
Young went to BYU.
Yep.
He probably the best BYU
They,
quarterback they've ever had.
oh, facts. I was trying to remember. It might have been last year, a couple years ago. It was fairly recent. They had a quarterback that did a whole like backstory on when BYU was like
Who's the dude?
top
The
20.
Tyler Wilson dude?
It might have been
Kyle
Tyler
Wilson,
Wills.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Kyle Wilson did go to
Um,
BYU, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but
But guess
a
what though?
great
But
sport.
guess what? Wasn't Kyle Wilson banging his mom's friend? Something like that.
If you get smart, yeah.
Yeah, he was
Bro,
probably
that
on
kid.
some Jimmer for that shit. Jimmer for that. he had to enter the draft, man, because he's up there getting it cracking out there. You know, at BYU, you can't have sex up there.
Well, that tells you something. All right, now listen, like Catholics can drink, so they're not fucking drunk. You know what I mean? All the time. Here, cheers. I'm one of
Yeah,
them.
you can't get no you can't get no
Mormons,
cheeks
bro.
up
The
there in
Mormons be
college,
popping.
man.
The
And I
Mormons
ain't
be
gonna lie, hey, they ain't gonna you can't sign me up for that in college. Nah,
hey,
I can't go
the
there.
Mormon dudes, bro. The Mormon dudes be wanting 20 kids, dog. Like,
bro,
no.
they be
I
getting it
gotta
in,
make it
bro.
pro if I got 20.
Bro, they got the
Hey,
most swingers.
I can't get jiggy with that. I
Bro, they
gotta
got the
get some
most
cheeks,
swingers in
man.
the
I can't get
state
no
up there,
cheeks up
bro.
there at BYU.
Bro, they got the most swingers in the country up there, bro. The
Bruh.
most
That's why I couldn't go to
swingers
BYU.
live in BYU.
Them all little wife show. Y'all got wives. Y'all know they be watching that show where the dude got like 6, 7 wives and shit, and a bunch of kids with all of them. Like that's where they do it at. That's where they do it.
You talking about the Mormon
That's
wives?
it.
The reality show, the Mormon. You talking about the reality show, the Mormon wives?
Yeah, or whatever it is. I can't tell you the
They
name.
got a they
She be
got a
having it
reality
on.
show
I
called the Mormon Wives.
Sister wives. Sister wives. That's what it is. Look, you trigger something in my memory with that shit. I'm telling you,
Oh
the
my
way
gosh, it's
Catholics be
hilarious.
drinking, Mormons be fucking. That's what I'm saying, bro. Clip that.
That's what I told you, Jim for that, bro. Bro, I think they was threatening to leave, like make him leave the school, bro. That's why he entered the draft like that third year, bro. Because he was in there drinking and getting them some cheeks up there, man.
Yeah,
Oh, don't put me
yeah,
around that many blondes, bro. I got an issue.
that's hilarious.
All right, man. So next topic, man. Of course, man. They right now in college football, the 2026 NCAA college football game is about to come out in a couple of weeks, and the other day, man, they gave out the rating for Jeremiah Smith, and they said he's at a 99 overall, man. Which is
Go.
rumors were saying that he was going to be at 100, but he's at 99 overall in this game. What y'all think about JJ becoming 99 overall on the game after year one?
Go ahead.
I think it's fitting. Who else? I mean, he deserves it. Everybody knows. Everybody knows his talent. Everybody knows he gonna be number one overall pick in the draft whenever he decides to go out. I mean, they
Facts.
did the right thing. I don't. Much to do about nothing. I believe.
Facts. Even them dudes up north know about Smith and know what he is, dog. Um, I'll flip it because everybody agrees that it is definitely warranted for JJ to add at 99. My problem is Caleb Downs is 97. That's my issue. I think
Only
Mm,
because of his
Downs
coverage.
dog,
Only
best
because
players
only.
in the
I
offense and
agree.
defense.
I agree. I agree. I think they gave him 97, and I'm only speculating, so don't turn me up. I think they gave him
It
97 based off his speed.
sounds like he's slow.
That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that's a fact or anything. If I had to
Yeah,
guess or bet my own money, it would be off that.
I'd
yeah,
probably
like
say
that.
maybe I don't know what I got to see like in the game like what's the attributes for us like what's the range for the certain attributes and stuff to kind of scale it out a little bit for us Caleb in that sense, man. But I mean him getting that 97 is still fucking solid though.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
I'm just mad. I mean, Caleb played my position, my favorite position in football to watch, to play, all of it, the scheme, all of it. And he wear my number, and he's great. I just think it should have been 299s in Ohio State. That's all I feel this year. Because
That could
one,
have been a reason too,
is
though.
Brown's junior, and two, I think he just as good on the side of the ball with everything that JJ is with everything. Like Caleb he can run stop, he can blitz, he can zone, he can man, he can cover deep. Like he just does everything well. I think that warranted a 99. That's all. I was just making my little side quest. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody knows
I
JJ
mean,
would be 99.
you're not wrong though. Honestly, you're not wrong. I will say this though, just from my own personal experience from playing the game. Like when I be in man coverage on that game, bro, it seems like Caleb all like whenever I give up a deep touchdown, it's with him covering somebody 1-on-1. You know what I mean? And only
The game,
because of
man,
his
that
speed.
ain't Caleb. That's the game. And Caleb's he gonna be he gonna be a strong safety. He gonna be more Palomalu than Ed Reed in the NFL. As far as ball hawking, I think like ball hawking is why he got them 2 points away. But I don't think he's bad at it. I don't think I don't know. He reminds me so much of Mike Doss, who was my favorite
Yeah,
football
that's a good
player at Ohio
comparison.
State when I was growing up. Like I couldn't tell you why. There was really no reason for it, especially NFL wise. But I thought Mike Doss was the shit. He wore my number. He played my position. And Caleb Downs shitting on dude, so he should be a 99. Because Mike Doss
I
in
like
college,
Mike Doss.
98. You hear
I
me?
like I like Mike Doss. I think Mike Doss got him Peyton Manning got him a ring, I think. But either way.
Yeah.
Um
He definitely got
I like
drafted
Mike
by
Doss.
Indianapolis. Hey, I like that
Mm-hmm.
brain, Ty. That was my that was my favorite Ohio State player. And not best or whatever, but like we go to favorites and not what you think of the players, but favorites. Mike Doss was my favorite Buckeye of all time.
Can't be mad at that one.
Caleb's better.
Now I see something with JJ. Now somebody said this guy is earlier, man. A lot of people have been talking about JJ just as far as just like the general generational talent of Jeremiah Smith, saying that this kid right now, of course, we talked about this several times where if he was in the league right now, like he would have came out of the draft, he would have probably been the first wide receiver drafted out of this draft this year. Let alone they think like he's going to be a bona fide Hall of Famer in the NFL. Like the potential and the whole praise that they give to Jeremiah Smith, like they really believe this kid is going to be one of those greats of all time. Be as one of like not even one. Some people think he's going to be the best wide receiver of all time as far as
Oh,
NFL, like
oh,
ever.
he
We're
definitely.
not gonna go that far.
Some people
Because I
putting
mean
that stigma that like they putting
they
that
gotta
stigma
chill on
on
that.
Jeremiah Smith.
They got to chill on
Say,
that. Not because I don't believe he has a potential, but like, come on, man, let the man defend his national title in college. Like, let him, you know what I'm saying? Like, before we start talking, like all that, like, let him live. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Don't put all that pressure and talk about he better than Jerry Rice and Randy Moss and T.O. and like, we don't even know what Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and how their careers are going to end. Like, let's just relax on that. We talking
potential
Megatron.
wise,
I
potential
mean,
wise,
like,
he's on the run already, and he only has 1
yeah,
year. So in
absolutely.
the
I'm not
world,
disagreeing. I'm not going against the potential at all. Like, yes,
no,
but
you're
like,
good.
let's just let you know what I'm saying. Let's let the 18, 19-year-old kid like just progress. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Nah, let's
let's
let's tell this
let's
motherfucker he's the best, so we go be the best. And in a perfect world, guess what happens? Um, some injury and something crazy happens next year in the NFL season, and a bunch of trades and this, that, and the other, and all of a sudden Lamar has JJ and Zay and Likely and Henry for another year or two. Oh, we're rings, baby. I want him
Man,
on my
just
team.
bro. Now this is one of those. This is a conversation that we're gonna look back on like years from now. Like, does JJ have that potential to really blow people away to be one of those guys? Like probably the guy as far as wide receiver of all time. Like he talent wise, looking at the potential, he could be that man. He
you
could
know
be
who comes to
that.
my mind though.
I don't want to put that on his jacket too much. That's just me
That's
personally.
I said the
but
same thing.
I know he's going to be one of the best wide receivers of all time that we've ever
Of all
watched. That's just
of all
my
time.
personal belief.
Am I wrong for this comparison? Right? Like, tell me if I'm wrong with this comparison. I think that JJ is going to be like Josh Gordon without the mental and weed issues. Like, you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
fuck
I'm
that.
not, huh?
That. Fuck that. That's too low. I
Bro, Josh
think
Gordon,
Hell
Josh Gordon
no.
was great, bro. He
Yeah,
got
listen.
I
mistakes.
had
He
to
got
think.
off the
I'm
field,
like,
bro.
Josh
No, I'm
Gordon?
sorry. I ain't gonna say fuck that
Nah.
like that. Disrespect you.
No,
I'm
no,
just
I'm
telling
talking
you
about the
my opinion.
potential, bro.
In my
Bro,
opinion,
you can't say,
that's all
bro. Are you
you
understand?
love.
I'm talking about body type too, like body type, the way his body's like I'm physical,
So let me
like
tell you.
physical body. You know what I'm saying? Overall package, bro. And mind you, I think JJ's better than Josh Gordon. Like, I'm not saying Josh Gordon better. JJ's already better than Josh Gordon. But I'm talking about the potential, the body, the physical physique. You know what I'm saying, bro? Bro, we don't seen
When
Josh
you win
Gordon
the
do some
game, you
amazing
perform.
things. I think you know what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But I don't know. Like, you know what I mean. But I'm just looking
I
off
think
like potential.
I think the best comparison for me is Megatron, but a little smaller.
That's a
Calvin
good
Johnson,
comparison too. That's a
but a
great
little
comparison.
smaller, but runs routes like Marvin Harrison, senior and junior for that matter. So I think you're getting Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens' body. That makes
Now you
sense.
getting all of these multiple top elite wide receivers in one
Absolutely.
within Jeremiah Smith.
Absolutely.
So I'm saying,
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
makes up for one. Like if you making a comparison to that as far as like adding all these different attributes into one wide receiver in Jeremiah Smith, that makes you a guy that can be one of the best of all time. Like probably
bruh,
the
Absolutely.
best of all time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I compare him to, like I said I said Josh Gordon, but another great like Andre Johnson. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to compare receivers that got the similar body type, that got the size and the speed like JJ got. You know what I'm saying?
I
A lot of
love
people
Andre.
compare him to Julio Jones. He gets the Julio Jones comparison all the time.
That's a great one. That's a great one. Um, I just hope he gets
I
a
think
better
he's gonna be
quarterback.
better than Julio.
Yeah,
That's my thing. I think he's gonna be better than Julio.
so I did a lot of video, or I watched a lot of videos on his little brother. And when I told you guys this in the chat too, to where I thought his little brother was a little shiftier than he was, but his
Yeah,
little brother,
yeah.
oh, that's why I play safety. He's just a little bit shorter, but like I'm not lying. Like what is he? 6'3", 220 as a freshman. So you're looking
Hmm.
6'4" in the NFL, 240, runs a 4.3. Uh, bro, that's literally Megatron minus minus one because Megatron was 6'5". That's the only difference, and the fact that he still runs routes super crisply, like it's crisp, dog. It's one little shake and he's gone. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. You're not supposed to have both of them. It's
Right.
like Terry
Right.
McLaurin.
Yo, it's
And I think he's way better than Terry, Scary Terry, and I love Scary Terry. But last year in the NFL, he led the league in fade yardage and streak yardage, streaks, goes,
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
however you want to call it. But in streak yardage, he led the league. And how old is he? How many? Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, all these other receivers we named.
yeah,
Jeremiah
absolutely.
has the speed, he has the body, he has the route running, he has the knowledge to read the route. You know what I mean? He checks all of the boxes. It's crazy, dog.
Correct. Correct. Yo,
Trying to build a
is
wide
it
receiver in the lab, it'd be him.
I agree with everything you said, bro. I got another question. Is the T Higgins Carnell Tate comparison valid?
No.
No?
No, not because of the height. I think
Okay.
Cardinal Tate is more so like I'm trying to think what's a good NFL comparison for Cardinal Tate as far as
Conky.
wide receiver wise.
Conky. That's what I see Tate as. in the NFL.
Say this again.
Underrated, overlooked, still good as fuck. That's
Say
what I
this
see
again,
Ted
Crush. Who?
McConkey. Lad McConkey.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
McConkey's still a
yeah.
tight end though.
No,
No,
he's
he's a
not.
wide receiver. He's a
He's a
wide
wide
No, he's
receiver.
receiver.
Okay.
Yeah,
he,
I would say I ain't gonna lie. His game kind of remind me of I was gonna say a little bit of Amon St. Brown, even though Amon St. Brown they move him all over the place. Like he's just
He's
not in
shorter
one
too.
spot.
Ain't
He'll be in the
Cardell Tate
slot.
taller than
He's
him,
shorter
right?
a little bit. Corner. I'm just saying, like, far as his game, how like he
Chris
runs his routes and
Brown.
stuff, his crisp routes and everything, and his precise catching and everything. That's who he kind of remind me of. How I can think of out the gate right now. Trying to think
I,
like a similar body type of wide receiver though.
yeah,
Uh,
I think it's that type
maybe like
game.
a
I think
Drake
it's that
London.
same
Maybe
level
like
though.
maybe like a Drake London. Maybe you say maybe Drake
Oh,
London.
I think
Drake,
Cardell Tate better than Drake London. I think Cardell better than
I think
Drake
he bet.
London.
I think Cornell will be better than Drake, but I like Drake London solid though. He's solid.
You don't think so, Kurtz?
I don't like the Drake London. Sorry, I
You
think
don't like
Tate
Drake London? Yeah,
a
I
slot.
feel
Okay.
you.
He more of a slot receiver guy. Drake London
just
he like six
I
four.
just yeah. I mean, with Cornell's, I think Cornell's probably like 6'2", 6'3". I mean, so I mean,
He's shorter than
How
me.
he
tall
got
is
like a real
Shady?
smooth game, like a smooth route running, like that. Like as far as like the body type and the route running, that's why I kind of came over to Drake London, even though I think Cornell could be better than him, though, in my
Parnell
opinion.
Tate would have been Isaac Bruce in the Rams, but
Oh,
we're in 2025.
Yeah, that's cold.
He's caught up, so he's not ahead of the game like Isaac Bruce was. I think he is going to play a lot in the NFL, sort of like E2, because he was never a number one and would never be a number one. Although E2 was bigger, did everything better, it was more the similarity between them never being a number one. So the mentality as a wide receiver changes when you get to the NFL. So their mindset doesn't really have to change. You know what I mean? They're going to
Right.
be in a three spot. They know they're going to be there. They know those routes. They know the reads. They know everything for 2 and 3, as opposed to one where most receivers get drafted in the NFL. So it's like a quicker understanding of your position, like your specific individual position, as opposed to a wide receiver 1 or a wide receiver 4 or 5. You know what I mean? So automatically, he's going to get NFL snaps, but he's never going to be a number one. E2 would have been a number one, but he went to Tampa. So he going to learn under Mike Evans. He going to be a number one in 3 years.
I
That's
think and Cornell like his whole demeanor, the way he plays, is really like similar to Emeka. Like, even though Emeka's more of a slot guy, like just like they demeanor and his the way he go about the game is exactly similar to Emeka Booker for sure. And let's gonna take it into this next topic, bro. Like, which is the Buckeyes. They're gonna be heading into preseason camp this next month in July. And let's talk about 5 key things that we want to see from the Buckeyes headed into preseason camp. Like what 5 key factors, like 5 key bold factors that we can get as far as the team, going into this camp, for as the season. And I'm gonna start off with one. I'm gonna say James Peoples gets 1,100 plus rushing yards this year.
number
let's not
one and one and
forget
one. I'm with
that.
you. Love it.
Let's not forget that my very first bold take on this Buckeye Steppas podcast was that James Peoples will be a Heisman candidate by the end of the year. I said that.
Yes.
That was
Yeah,
my
you
very
definitely
first bold
said
take.
that.
So I agree. I agree with what you just said because I said James Peoples will be a Heisman candidate.
So I agree with that, Cam.
I love that. To add on to that, our running back room is retarded right now, or ridiculous. Sorry, ridiculous right now. And people's going to get, it's not going to be 50-50. People's going to get
Yeah, bro.
65.
That's why I was kind of leaning with that. I was thinking about that earlier with like the carries between him and CJ Donaldson. I think after a while, once they fill out, you're gonna see James Peoples getting a lot of those carries, and you will probably see CJ Donaldson more, more so on the goal line, how we imagined when we first got him out of the portal. And
Uh,
I'm gonna say I'm gonna add a little context too with Bo Jackson because he's RB3. Bo Jackson, I'm gonna predict this freshman year with our schedule, the way we got to set it up for Bo Jackson's freshman year, he'll have 300 plus yards at least for the
woo.
season. At least three. At least three.
Garbage time yards, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
unless somebody go down. I mean, somebody go down, but I can
lots of
see I
fourth
can see
quarter.
definitely at least 350 plus, man, for sure.
I already know what my bold take for tonight is. I'm gonna go ahead and get it out the way before I forget because I'm smoking. We're gonna
Okay.
have Ohio State will have a 1,200 yard rusher and two 500 yard rushers
I
for the
like it.
season.
And piggybacking off of Cam. I love that. Um,
James said three, though. I'm saying 200 yards more.
I hear you. With me and Cam watching that spring game, it's hard. It was really hard knowing how good Bo Jackson Jr. was, and we both knew it going in. But how the other three named running back that I always mess up, so I won't even try it. Um, that's a freshman too. He looked good. He looked good too. So I wonder how much they'll fluctuate in the fourth quarters because I think there'll be a lot of fourth quarters where everybody gets play. Um, I
You know,
I
one thing I'm
said
noticing though.
500. I would have said 500 for Bo Jr. because he's going to get a lot more snaps than uh, not Peoples, but RB2. I'm sorry, dog. I like your game. I can't remember your name, but yeah, I love that take, Cam. That was a great take, bro. Like I'm sitting here still going through the turning wheels and shit. Like that's a great take because we're gonna be up by a lot, a lot. Bo
Yeah.
Jackson gonna get
Yeah,
it.
man. And I'm gonna add some more too for us key factors into this season too. Um, what y'all think about offensive line this year having two first team all conference, at least two first team all conference, and just to add context to this situation, what we talking about for us this topic. Um, last year we've had a first team all conference guy over the past few years on our O line. So what y'all think about this year? Us having at least two first team all conference guys with four returning offensive linemen coming back this year, and of course, they got the potential first round guy and Big Ethan from Rice.
Yes. Go ahead.
I'm excited about the Big Ethan from Rice guy. I watched film on him, and I just think he a dog, bro. You know, and I'm excited. I think that we definitely will have two a minimum two all conference linemen this year.
Yeah,
I
I think
believe
I
so.
think it'd be Ethan. I could say Ethan and maybe Carson Hinsman, our center. Like those two. Maybe Austin Searville, he's gonna be on that right tackle. So possibly him as well, too, as well. That or Luke Montgomery at guard. Like our offensive line is gonna be a real strong suit for us this year, man. Like, and I think it's so lovely that we got Tyler Bowen in here where like last year we didn't even have four guys recruited at this time last year on the O line, and he got four guys already going into the season recruited at O line. So I mean the O line is definitely building a lot of that, man. I like what we're doing at O line right now, and I feel like that's going to be a real strong suit for us. And I want y'all to think about this too.
Yep.
All right, so that first game against Texas. Big Ethan is going to be going up against Big Colin Simmons over there, man. That's going to be a crazy matchup right there, and we're going to really get to see what Big Ethan all about that first game going against Colin Simmons against Texas.
Yo,
What y'all think about that?
I
Well,
don't think Big Ethan gives up a sack against
oh
Texas.
no, I'm definitely not on that tip. He definitely gets up two, but he only loses twice in the whole game. Um, I Seth McLaughlin was so overlooked because of the injury last year, and our O
Right,
line, the leadership last year, whether he was in the huddle or not, was crazy. So I think our if we had our original O line that didn't get hurt, Josh Simmons included, you know what I mean? Our O line would have been fine last year. But I also think that ties into helping my case with Julian Sand being a whole hell of a lot better than Will Harris. Um,
Well,
I
y'all said
just
Julian Sand
the
got a quick
offensive
release, right?
line, huh?
Y'all saying Julian Sand got a quick release, right?
Yes.
most
Yep.
definitely.
That that's going to help the offensive line for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
For
that
sure.
too. That too. But there's our offensive line is going to be our offensive line because we're in the Midwest. The only other place they grow offensive linemen is Texas and Montana. You know what I mean? Like that's how it is. So like the difference between the injuries and how they worked it last year and made that shit work at the end was crazy. That ties into what Cam was
Right.
saying about the coach. But if we were healthy last year and this year, I still think we're a little bit better this year, but the leadership that I worry about was Seth being gone because he was there for so long and ran the whole shit. He ran the whole show. I don't know how he didn't get drafted, which
I'll tell
is
you,
crazy.
Carson Hinsman, I think he picked that slack up because you remember Carson Hinsman started his freshman year. And then,
Yes, he
we
did.
brought in Steph from Bama. And of course, he started. And then when we brought Carson came in and he was an immediate, guy that really built and helped the line last year, coming after stuff, picking up at center, man. And you remember he started that guard that first game,
Facts.
what I'm saying, before Steph went down and stuff, you know what I mean? And then Steph went down and they put him at center. And, he balled out, man, the whole year, man. And Carson Hinsman, I think he's going to be that guy that's going to just, be that leader on that line. I think all of those guys been there long enough to where they all, have that, that whole built-in, brotherhood among them, themselves among the line, and they all going to be playing well together. Now,
Facts. You right.
this is something that I was thinking about for us just the Texas game in particular. I mean, not even that. Just for the year, do y'all prefer us to be? Because I was thinking about this earlier. Do y'all prefer us to be an air raid team or like similar to last year, balance as far as the run and the pass?
We need
Balance.
balance. We need balance.
More
We need
fades,
balance.
more slants, less read options. I mean, Julian Sand's not going
And
to run the read option like Will Howard did. So, as the quarterback, that's how I know I'm going to be right in
yes,
my positions.
How many?
Um,
How
yes.
many? That's a good question right
I
here to
hate
add
those
into
behind the
this.
line of scrimmage wide receiver screens. I hate those plays. Right? I hate those.
Ah,
Oh my God, bro, it drives me crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we're not throwing them to JJ, don't throw them at all. But honestly, JJ
he's
has
supposed
too
to be
much of a
running
talent.
screens to throw
JJ
off the
has
D
too
line.
much of a talent to even
That's the
waste a
only
blink of
Brandon
an eye.
Ennis gonna get some of them. Brandon Ennis gonna get some of those screens.
Woo,
Hate
yes,
that
he
play,
is.
bro. Go ahead.
Nah, like I think you're going to see more slants, and you're going to see more slants that get broke because of Ennis, because of Tate, because of Mylan Graham. I think you're going to see more slants that get broke because it's going to be like you know what I mean? The shotgun, the little quick play action, boom. First is going to be open because these wide receivers are fucking wide receiver. You know what I mean? They're going to be open. So it's, quick little and the slant as opposed to the read option. So with Julian saying we need to get farther away from Urban's offense and closer to Ryan Day's offense. And I think that's where Brian Hartline comes in and the wide receivers coach becoming the offensive coordinator. I think that's where you see the difference. There's going to be a lot more play action screens, a lot more play action slants, fades, everything. It's going to be a more pass. Julian Saying is going to have 35 to 40 pass attempts if we're running our offense correctly for 4 quarters.
Yeah, man. I definitely prefer balance for sure. Myself for sure. You know my motto, man. Run that ball to where it's set up the pass game. And I think we did a great job with that this year. And I'm thinking that we're going to continue that on because I think our O line, like I said, is going to be on our strong suit to where we're going to be able to run the ball even better this year, in my opinion with James Peoples. I think a lot of people sleeping on our run game, thinking our run game gonna take a step back because we lost Trey and Q last year, man. I don't think we're gonna take a step back. I think we can be even better because I think James Peoples is gonna be a fucking problem, bro. He's gonna be dangerous. Him and CJ Donaldson along with Bo Jack back there, man.
Let me tell you what I pray
What
for
about
our
what
offense.
about what about what about homeboy the Dixon? I forget his first. You don't talk about.
Sam Williams Dixon. Now
Yeah.
Williams
that's an
said,
interesting aspect because he did play good in that spring game for sure. He looked very good in that spring game, but they're very
Bo,
high on Bo Jack.
him and Bo going to be Judkins and Henderson, but we didn't have to go get another one. We had them both the whole time. That's what them two going to be, but that ain't going to be this year. That's going to be next year and the year after. But
But you said Bo
Peoples,
Jackson RB3. So where's William
yeah,
Dixon listed?
Miles Dixon is RB3B.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's why I worry
Sam Williams Dixon is RB4. So
to the running backs
yeah,
because
he RB4.
Dixon White did 3B, same thing. Uh, Dixon White was a baller, bro. He gonna ball, but that's
Did
gonna
we get
be
the Did we get
Cheers
the
rank.
what dude?
People's gonna
Did we
get
get that?
people's are getting the carries, most of the touches. My hope is that he gets most of his touches on, you know what I mean, second down. I think we need to pass more on first down because people know what we're going to do on first down. Damn near every single first down the last 5 years. First down changes, the game changes. If we
Don't we got
pass
a
more,
running back with a cool ass name? I forget his name. Fuck. Like Turbo or
Bojack,
something like that.
Oh, Trevor Rogers. Yeah, he'll be
Yeah.
here. He'll be here in camp next month.
Okay. Okay. Go
So
ahead.
he'll be a little bit. No, he got to catch up. That's the thing. They love for the kids to originally come in early. You know what I'm saying? Instead of them playing catch up coming in the summer.
mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Now, all right. So some key factors on defense, man. I'm gonna say this. I believe. So hey, all right. Let me ask y'all this. As far as Iggy, how
Oh,
many penalties does Iggy get this year in 2025 year?
What's the over under?
I say
four.
over under 5.
I'm under. I got 4. 2 of them are super big, but it doesn't matter.
He
We still
said
win.
4. 4 is crazy. I still think that's a lot to me. I don't know why I feel like that's a lot
That's
still. I
crazy
don't
for
know
us,
why.
or is that crazy in general? We talking about an individual. That ain't crazy.
You talking
As
personal
far as
fouls?
the
Yeah,
individual
personal
is
fouls or
not
inter-
crazy.
or personal fouls or what penalties?
Hey,
Like
I go to.
his normal touchy feely. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you this: the homie from Oregon gets more than Iggy this year. 16. I can't remember his name, but I remember his number.
So I'm gonna go over.
Over five. Oh my god,
Uh,
damn, that's a bad. Yeah, that's like saying Iggy, man. If Iggy get over five pass interference this year in calls, bro, I'm gonna be hot, bro.
oh, wait a
I'm
minute.
gonna
Wait.
Bro,
be hot.
Or was it like, yeah, I was counting hands past 5 yards and all that shit too.
bro,
That's the
who might get
difference.
who Iggy will have two separate games. Bro, he'll have two in one game.
I'm out.
He said,
Iggy a year older, bro. Iggy a year older, and you think we the only ones talked about Iggy and his hands, bro? I'm telling you, dog. I'm telling you,
Even
he gonna be fine.
even if
the
Iggy
media
does have over
already
five.
be talking about it. They done asked Coach Walton about the Iggy hand
Yo,
issues several
I'm
times this
oh,
offseason, and he had to address it a couple times to where it's like it's a thing. Like it's a real narrative behind it. It's not even a narrative because it's a real thing. It's a real thing that the
I get
media is trying to spread this narrative
and with
about
that being
Iggy
said
that
though,
he's very touchy feely out there
Cam,
on the field.
With that being said, I everything you just said, I agree with that 1,000%. But with that being said, he will have at least two pass interference calls that are not legit. Because
yes. Thank
that yes,
I
you.
agree.
absolutely.
Because of
So
reputation. Oh, that's beautiful.
yes, yes. So that's why I'm saying I'm taking the over. Because not just because I'm taking the over, don't mean everyone will be legit. We gonna get fleeced on some calls.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. But that's why I got four. Because two of them he earned and they were in big spots, but we still win. And the other two was bogus as fuck because he got a reputation. So, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
You're an
Go
NFL
ahead.
team. You looking at Denzel Burke this year or Iggy at the end of next season? Who you taking? I'm taking Iggy
I'm
all
taking
day.
Iggy. I'm taking Iggy.
It depends what somebody Iggy for us this season.
This upcoming season that he ain't
I'm taking
played yet.
Iggy in general over Denzel Burke. I'm taking Iggy in general over
Man,
Me
Denzel
too.
Burke.
all right. So just to add some context, I think I'm gonna go with far as Iggy, far as the over under, far as pass interferences. I'm gonna go with under five, and the reason being, I'm saying this is I'm believing that he gonna clean this up because of the narrative. Now, I say the actual numbers probably be like two or three. I'm gonna say two or three. He gets two or three. But I'm gonna
I
say
get
it's definitely gonna be what TB said, for as it being like a couple calls where it was like, some controversial, questionable ass call where they called a PI because the cornerbacks don't get those. They get those, you know what I'm saying, eventually, you know what I'm saying, for sure. Especially if you locking some shit up, you know what I mean?
okay.
Like
Yo, but now they're calling a lot of defensive holdings. What's your over
So,
under on that on the five?
time out before another question. Answer the question. Are you taking Denzel when he comes out, or are you taking Iggy when he comes out?
I'm taking Iggy because the thing
I
is
say
Okay.
Iggy.
Iggy.
I
I
say
say
Iggy.
Iggy because I think Iggy gonna have a better year this year than Denzel had last year. I think Iggy's gonna have like was projected as a sixth rounder for this past season.
Oh.
I mean, for the NFL draft. So like
When
he had to
Denzel,
come back, like so he can up his status. You know what I mean? He had to really come back in reality because no, you don't want to get drafted sixth round. Go ahead and come back, get you a nice NIL bag with Ohio State, eat good.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Upgrade your status for this next draft by balling out, man, with less penalties this year than you had last year.
that's
For
all I
sure.
wanted to hear. And Denzel started as a freshman. He was supposed to be the next
Absolutely.
Denzel Ward. He wasn't. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
It can't all
And
be 7 step.
so I say this. All right, so defense back staying with the defense. Um,
He gonna
over under on over and under on far as sacks from our edge rushers this year. You remember last year our edge rushers for real really didn't get hot till the end of the season,
shit.
especially in that playoff run. You know what I mean? So over and under with Kenyatta Jackson, Cade Curry, of course our guy from North Carolina, the big dog,
Yeah.
and our other
Let's
guys,
go.
Edric Houston and Caden McDonald out there at D tackle, man. So what over and under on sacks, far as as far as a unit, far as the first three, um,
It's got to be 20, 20 and a half.
say
I'm about to say, I wonder how
20.
many did we have last year as
Right.
a unit?
See, for the season,
Yeah,
yeah, 20, 22, over or under.
I'm gonna say over.
I say over for sure. Over this
I think
young
our
this I think
way
they
better than it
sleeping
was
on
last.
our. I think they sleeping on our D line this year, man. 'Cause I've been seeing some people in media talk about the D line and stuff, thinking like we ain't gonna take a huge step back on D line, even though we're replacing guys. But I see some people sleeping on our D line, thinking they ain't gonna be as solid as last year. You know what I'm saying? And I think our talent, like this is one thing about this team of Ohio State for 2025. Like our team is so fucking talented, bro. Like and our talent showed going into the playoffs, and I just see that happening as far as this season where the talent is going to really show. Like because right now the way the college football is set up, it's set up to where like if you lose a game, it don't fucking matter. You can get back in this shit. Like you don't want to lose more than two
Right,
games,
right.
of course, but you can get back in this shit with one loss. You know what I mean?
No,
And make a run in the playoffs. That's why I feel like a lot of the college football teams right now they're not tripping about losing one or two games. You know what I'm saying? They just don't want to go over that 2 game mark for us losses to stay in contention for the playoffs. Especially with it being 12 teams and they're gonna add
boy,
it to
I wish
16
T Mac
eventually.
was on here to hear that, bro. Because I wish T Mac was on here to hear that, man. Because I said that in chat when a while back, and we're not gonna go down a rabbit hole, but um, I, I I said that in the chat about when we was talking about Craig Krenzel. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to switch topic. I'm not, but I'm just really thinking about what you're saying. Real shit though, Cam. It's like back then the BCS, there was less room for error. You know what I mean? One game
Right.
you lock.
Well,
You know what I mean? Nowadays, you win 2 games, you can still make the playoffs and make a run. You know what I mean? It still be the champ. You know what I mean? And that's all I
the
was trying to
Dodgers,
say. Like I'm just
Now I
go
got
ahead,
now
go ahead, Craig.
even to go a little deeper in the layer in that into another layer into that. Is it over for us the undefeated teams in this era right now for us the playoffs and everything like for us to be in 12
yes,
Absolutely.
teams?
It's all
Is it over
it's
yes,
that
always
we're
over,
not going
baby.
to see any more undefeated teams winning a natty?
No.
yes, yes. Because the good teams are gonna consider it like the
I don't
fucking
see it.
NFL, dog. Like the NFL. So yeah, we're gonna play you the big games and the night games, even if they are big games. But we're gonna play you, and then we don't mind losing to a team and keeping our place because we might see them in the playoffs. So because of that, that's where the real coaching comes in. So they're not ready for your real shit until the playoffs. take for instance Ohio State and Texas, right? We are not going to see the whole open playbook of Ohio State and Texas in game one. We are going to see a simple game plan for each team. You know what I mean? Because they're saving shit. You can't have everybody on the same page on trick plays and everything in week one. But in the playoffs, that's where everything comes out. So it's going to get treated like the NFL, to where like, yeah, whatever, we lose this division game. Yeah, it sucks. These motherfuckers gonna talk shit, whatever. But we saved this one play that they're not gonna be ready for, and they never saw it, and whatever. We gonna save that for the end. I think that's what you're gonna start getting in college football now, because the same shit happens in the NFL. Because the games don't matter until the lights are on, hence night games. That's how I feel about it.
Eventually, eventually they're gonna have players sitting out. You know what I mean? If teams like, hold on, didn't
I
Alabama
mean, you
clinch
are.
or like didn't Alabama clinch a SEC championship game with like 2 games left or like 1 game left in the season, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
I
Didn't
believe
give a
something
fuck.
like that. And now we're gonna get to the position where teams gonna start sitting their stars. You know what I mean? Just like NFL do. If that's the
Bro, a
case,
lot the teams is not, bro. This is enough. That's why I said even with this question, far as is the undefeated teams done with in this era of college football. The reason why I'm saying it is because I feel like some of these teams is going to that method where like some of these teams don't care if they win the conference title the way shit's set up right now. Like
Ohio
of
State.
course they of course they want to win it, but I think everybody's playing survival to just get to the fucking playoffs and try to be healthy going into the playoffs as well.
How this conversation is going, as mad as I was about how Ohio State played Michigan, right? That ties into the same shit last year. So that's the
Right.
last game before the play. We can't show these other teams. We know we're gonna get in, but we can't show these other teams the plays off the plays that you see in the film room, right?
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
teams like, all right, we see this play, this many times this game, this is their play, right? And now there's
mm-hmm.
4 plays off of that, but you're not seeing the other 3 plays. You're just seeing that one play the whole season. And maybe I should give Ryan Day more credit because maybe this was him. I don't care what you do, just do whatever the fuck you run the ball. Fucking 92 ice, 92 ice, 92 ice. Coach Grippa, 92 ice, 92 ice.
Right.
We call that 30 times a game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In the
Right.
regular season. Now the playoffs, that's where the shit gets all funny. Like, all right, well, you've seen a tape, and I made sure you saw this on tape, so now I'm gonna do this. That's where that part ties in. So maybe I might owe Brian Day more credit. So because that's probably why we lost against Michigan, because when we were talking about it last year, the whole thing was play calling. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But maybe his whole thing was, all right, man, I don't give a fuck about this. I'm gonna go get a ring, and he got a ring
Nah,
because
not with that game though. Not with that. Not with that game
You
though.
know,
Not
bro,
with
you
that
know
game. You
what's
can't have
I
that
found
mindset with
so
that game.
fast. I found this so fascinating about this season, and those 2 losses that we got, bro, is in a margin of 4 points. One against Oregon and 3 by the Bulls up north, bro.
Right.
Like,
we only won by
like
10.
that. We could have been dealing with an undefeated season, bro, for real in reality, which is
But
so
like the
fucking
whole thing was
wild,
like,
bro.
so now the Penn State game, because me and Ty we were on the same side, and it seems like I'm switching, and Ryan Day's, I'm starting to see his chess game. You know what I mean? I might have been wrong, because even at Penn State,
It
yeah, we won
it
20-13. God damn it, we
it
should have
go
blew
back into that
motherfuckers out.
conversation we
But
had
we thought
though.
we might have saw him in the playoffs, so we couldn't show him shit. This that AFC North shit. this is why the AFC North just battles with run game and kickers. That that's the whole AFC North. Besides the Bengals, because they're stupid. You know what I mean? Everybody else builds off of defense. That's why and then the playoffs, Harbaugh fucks up. But at the same point in time, like maybe Ryan Day was just playing chess, and I was fucked up. I think Ryan Day knew what he was doing and never put any of those extra plays. Like when the Notre Dame corner was fucking waving his arms and shit, like, help, help. You know what I mean? In the national championship game. Maybe that's why, because the corner recognized it, but nobody else, coaches included, Marcus Freeman, who I'm high on, included. Oh, shit. Maybe Ryan Day did know what he was doing.
Yeah, bro. I just think with the team, like with the way college football, like they doing, everybody's trying to preserve up until that, for them 16 games. 'Cause everybody's looking to win the national championship. That's why I was saying with the conference championship, a lot of motherfuckers is not caring about the conference championship so much because everybody wants to get to the playoffs and try to make that run in the playoffs right now. Man. It's just crazy how this shit's setting up now with college football, bro. We got the NIL with the salary cap about to be on deck soon, and
Worried
and,
in the
and
regular
you got
season.
the expansion on the playoffs where it may be 14 to 6. Well, it's going to be 16. It's going to be at least 16 teams in the playoffs after this next year, and man, it's just so many crazy changes, man. Like you got a lot of teams,
Game.
a lot of conference alignment. Teams going to different conferences and everything, which is a lot of you're gonna see a lot more teams coming up. They're gonna be coming to the SEC and the Big Ten. So the Big Ten and the SEC is gonna be growing as well. So it's about to be crazy, like.
Whew. It's crazy to
It's
think
about to
about.
be crazy, bro. They're like, I'm excited about this year though, because it's with Ohio State. I think this team, like, we didn't play to our full potential 100% last year, which is, we
No,
had the talent. We all knew we had the talent to win it all. Like, yeah, we were predicting that we was gonna win it all before the season. Well, I'm saying with this particular team for this year in 2025, this team right here can win it all. They really can win it all.
saying gonna bring him to the promised land. I'm telling you.
We could
I
definitely
think
run it back. Like I really truly believe in it, bro.
I think he lose next year, but this year he gets his ring.
So
Saying
that's why it go back to what I said a couple weeks ago. I said y'all better beat us now because I'm telling you that following year in 2026, y'all not beating us next year. Y'all not. I'm just saying. That's what I'm just saying. They better get their ducks in a row right now. Because when it comes to 2026 season, y'all not winning in that. The Ohio State's going to win in that in 2026. And yeah, that's a bold prediction and right now for me. You know
both
what I'm saying? Going for next year. You know what I mean? I know this. I'm not surprised if this team with our talent, this 2025 team wins it all and run it back. Like we can go back to back, and I think this right now, Ryan Day is setting Ohio State up to become the next team that's a dynasty. Like right now,
dynasties.
we don't have it's no team that's making a run dynasty wise right now. It's no Bama out there. Bama's not one of them anymore. I mean, so it's
Clemson.
really wide open for that spot to be that team to make a run right now.
There is no other option for the next dynasty. It's us. It's Ryan Day right now. Because I had like literally, I'm coming to a what do they call it, epiphany right now. Ryan Day's that guy, bro. We building a dynasty. He the next Saban, and Ryan Day young as shit, bro. This could be 20 years, and
Yeah.
it's us number one every year, 20 years. because of Ryan Day and him giving up play calling and everything that I've said. And I was never a Ryan Day guy, but I might be coming one.
Well, I think he building a dynasty, man. Like, and he's bringing in the right kids into the program, not these greedy ass kids that's out there looking for a bag and everything. He's bringing in guys that want to come compete and develop, and not even just become an NFL guy, but become a guy that you get your degree from Ohio State, and what I'm saying, they prepare you for life after football per se, if something was to happen, in their careers. You know what I mean?
It's like,
So uh,
to
Ryan
me,
Day
it's
is
like
just like he's doing an amazing job. I think after that, like that Michigan game really turned the switch on for us, Ryan Day, in my opinion. And I just think like he gonna coach the similar way that he did in the playoffs from now on, and that's what we kind of would expect from him. Like coach that same particular way as he did when we played, in the playoffs. So he has to keep that same mindset and attitude and demeanor for the rest of the time as he's coaching.
typically whispering in that ear, though. So it's all about how that coach that gets the whisper and prospers that over. Um, I know for the next 4 or 5 years at least, it's going to be wide receiver you again. All we did, Terry McLaurin led the NFL in go yards, dog. That's crazy to me because Paris Campbell was the one running goes at Ohio State. So it's Buckeye Steppas, y'all know me. Paris Campbell was the one that ran the goes because he was faster. McLaurin did every other route. This is the Carnell Tate, you know what I mean? Simile, whatever. Um, Tate might end up being McLaurin in the NFL, and he's never been a number one. That shit's crazy, dog. And Julian Sand gets rid of the ball like Matty P that I saw, and we didn't offer him. We offered the other guy. Aggravates me. But it's the same kind of thing, dog. Ohio State always has a loaded locker room. But the only thing that I wonder about, which to the 5 points, is the D line. I don't think. I thought Jack Sawyer and JTT were both overrated. They didn't do things. Yeah, they did some, and they're going to be on ESPN, but I think they were overrated. So now we got the underrated. I think they're going to play harder, compete harder every single play, and you're going to see the difference. So I think our D line will be better.
Yeah, man. I think the D line is gonna be solid this year. The defense is gonna be nasty this year, bro. Like that's why I just feel that this team can make a real true run. Like they can make a real true run at it this year, and really make some noise. Like in the play, it's gonna be tough, but we have the talent and the depth to win another national championship. And that's one thing too that Ohio State is doing well, to where they got depth in all of these positions. And they've been building that for a long time, and it's gonna be lit, bro.
So
So
my bold prediction is Julian Sand wins one ring, but it's next year.
I like that. I actually like that. I like that.
He
I'm with you on that. He win one. He win one either this year or next year, and I would predict that it'd be next year. Like I don't do I think like I think this Ohio State team can win a national championship this year. They can go back to back, but I wouldn't be a better on it per se. I wouldn't bet
I,
on it per se.
I'll bet on Caleb winning too. That's what I bet on.
Because
Caleb down.
Jeremiah, you guys remember you got Jeremiah. Well, Caleb, this is his last year. So Jeremiah with this year and next year, he got 2 more years. Like I think he definitely due to win one more. And one thing I wanted to throw this in there too, real quick while we here. I think this team this year, and I already made this bold prediction that we was gonna beat Michigan this year. But I just think it's so much different perspective that I know us going into the little house this year. I like to call it little house, they little house. Us going into the little house, I just got this feeling that they gonna be so hungry to beat Michigan this year. Like they're gonna
Oh,
do everything in their power to beat them guys this year. Like you know what I mean, and they're not gonna play that same fucking way. I think we'll be in our bag by we get to week 12, 13 to play them guys. Like we gonna be in our super duffel around that time.
I love it. I think we beat them by 2 scores. I called like 40 points last year, so I think they're a little better. I think our D line is better, which makes everybody better on the field on defense. When it comes to consistency wise in every game in the season, the regular season, my bold prediction is we beat Penn State and that team both by 17 plus points.
Penn
That's my
State and
bold
Michigan.
prediction.
Mm.
Penn State and Michigan.
Both of them,
I
17
know we're
plus.
not losing to Penn State. I just one game I know they got on the calendar. They're not losing. I just think this team gonna be a little bit. This team, like the players on this team before Ohio State has never beat Michigan, and it just comes a time to where enough is enough. And I think like a guy like Jeremiah Smith,
Oh man, but y'all don't be
a
having
guy
that
like
same
Jeremiah Smith,
energy, bro, during the season. Y'all don't be having
they
that same
bro,
energy, bro,
this is the thing.
because
This
when
is
the
the thing.
season comes,
We're
when the
going. This
season
is the
comes,
thing,
all y'all
GB.
talk about is
Let me say this. Let me say this.
Let's go. He
This
been off.
ain't
Let's
that. Yeah, yeah. Hold on. I gotta say this. The mindset and the way Brian Day is coaching his team is not the same way they played before Michigan right now.
1000%.
Like I think Ryan Day is going to like me and Crush was talking about it. I think Ryan Day is going to literally coach this team. Like he's going to stay in his duffel how he was in the playoffs. He's going to coach this team aggressive, the same exact way
Hey,
this whole entire
all
year, and
season
don't
long.
change up. Let Brian Hartline do his thing. Let Matt Patricia do their thing, and you just be the CEO. Let them
Thank you.
run they, you know what I'm saying, the offense and defense, man. And you just be aggressive for as far as the gameplay. Stay aggressive. I mean, and keep those guys motivated. And I think this team, the mindset and the motivation of this team after winning the Natty and everything is totally different now. Like they're hunger for more. Like they hunger
Agree.
for more. Like
Now,
they're not no team that's no sitting there just happy just to win one national championship. Like they want to win multiple. They really want to win a dynasty. Like this team, this brotherhood from Ohio State is totally different from what we've seen in the last couple years, especially before the Michigan loss. Like this team that they ready to really put on, and they want to do right now. The focus is game one, Texas, one game at a time, and that is going to start off. That Texas game is going to show us a lot about our team. Even though it's early and it's week one, it's going to show us a lot what we're going to see from certain guys on the squad as far as going
and
into
win
the
by 10
2025
plus.
season.
Let's go. Go ahead, Ty.
I
Yeah, 10
mean,
plus.
I agree. I just, I think, I think overall though, I'm just gonna speak on what my mind was just thinking about because I was just, just thinking about this
Go.
us
just as like repeating. Honestly, because my mom was just thinking about like just repeating, and I've been thinking about that for a little bit. And I just think I just think we're gonna repeat. I mean, we talk about a lot. You know what I mean? Today's show. My clock's in 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I love it because I didn't even realize we was on the show that long. And I
I
just
you know
and
yeah,
honestly,
but
I'm not saying that to complain. Honestly, I'm just saying that because like I think the conversation tonight is kind of like flowed real good. You know what I mean? Coming from my perspective, Crutch and Cam, y'all had some really great takes. You know what I'm saying tonight. So um,
Regardless, what we're doing is repeating, right?
mhm.
We all got us winning the second one with Julian saying, right?
Correct,
That's all I'm
correct.
saying.
absolutely,
Bro, I
absolutely. I
was
said if it ain't this year, it's next year for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
this
I just kind of had like a little proud moment, man, because I felt like the show's good. You know what I mean? We're making good takes. That's where my mind was at. So I do apologize for that, though. But that's
Oh
what
no,
happened.
you good, bro. You good. You good, bro. I think like one thing I was thinking because like today when I was coming up with the topics and stuff for the show, I was like towards the end of the show, I wanted us to just have a little dialogue about the team. Just
Mhm.
just talking about some stuff that we just have normal barbershop talk conversation about the Buckeyes, like what we think about certain players and our team just as a whole going into this summer, this preseason camp, man. And I believe like this team with Ohio State, like we're building
I think
something
this
amazing
team,
here.
Ohio
Where I
State
just
team,
I don't see a lot of
20
other
years.
locker rooms like ours out there in college football. And we was talking about like the dynasty. It's no real dynasty team right now since Bama right now. And the
Yes,
question
there
is
is.
who's gonna become that team?
There is. Yes, there is. It's us, dog. We already know what it's gonna be, and we all excited about it. And Cam, y'all bringing us together is ridiculous, dog. Like I love these dudes, and I don't even know them besides you and knowing them through you. But like this Buckeye Steppas shit, dog, done a lot for me, and I appreciate every single one of y'all. And if there's anything you need me to do, you just ask, and I'll figure the fuck out. You hear me?
Man,
Um,
bro, like this season gonna be
going
I
back
can't
to
wait
that,
for this year. I can't wait for this year for us like the content that we gonna do during the season.
Mhm.
Bro, it's
dog.
gonna be so fucking lit, bro. Like that's why
Oh
the
yeah.
view, like that's why I said like I told TB earlier, I'm not worried about the views and stuff right now for us because I know the shit that we're gonna be doing it during the season. Everybody in
Mhm.
that and their mama gonna end up watching it, so like I'm
That's what
not
we
even
do our
worried
best
about
work
right now.
during the
We do
season,
Like
this
huh?
during
shit
the
behind
season,
sharpened shores, bro. This that Wu Tang shit, dog. Like I love
Mhm.
y'all. Like
Yeah.
it's a family aspect, and we just sharpen on our swords,
Hmm.
liquidating our
For sure.
absolutely,
swords.
bro.
Say,
For
you
sure.
know what I
For
mean?
sure.
Like it is what it is, dog. I never knew Ty from nothing, and brother, you my brother. Whatever you need from
Same,
me, I'm
same
gonna
thing, bro.
do for you. And then I'm gonna make you let me stay with you for free in Vegas. Um,
Bro,
nah,
that's right.
like
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
real. Like on some real shit. Like it's just
Yeah,
all love between us, and I don't have a lot of that in my life, and I appreciate it. You know what I mean,
for sure.
bro? This step of shit is crazy, and people ain't saying what we saying. When these
Yeah.
Buckeyes fans and everything start looking at us, bro, it's a wrap. Everybody got a different perspective. Everybody got a different view. And Cam, you bringing us together is something crazy, dog. And here we are, about to fucking blow up as soon as this season starts. You hear me?
Yeah.
I'm telling.
Yeah. Yo, first year of Buckeye Steppers, Natty Champs, bro. But that's just a great omen. You know what I'm saying?
Mark it on the wall like hieroglyphics.
Yeah, you know what I
Man,
mean.
bro,
It's great,
I
man.
was sitting there, bro, because I was telling y'all the other day in the chat, I was like, man, I was sitting back watching our old shit back. So I go back and watch some of our old shit back and look at just the growth that we've had, bro. Like, and the growth from the show, like we didn't grow so much, and then just look at just the season and how everything went last year, off of just the first year of having the show. Now it's like this year we get the full season to really grasp this whole season and cover this whole season, which we've been covering it from the off season on to the season now.
Mhm.
And I just I'm excited for this year because this season is gonna be crazy, bro. Because it just feel like it's just like the unknown is going to happen in this year for us. College football. Like it's going to be a lot of crazy shit going on, upsets and
Yeah,
everything, man. Like,
facts.
yeah, I just can't wait to cover all of this shit. Like, for as all the teams, because of course everybody know we of course we cover the Buckeyes, all day, every day, but we do cover the whole landscape, and it's gonna be fun to watch these other teams and and really have these watch parties and really cook up on all of this shit this whole year, man.
Facts. Facts.
All right, man.
Facts.
So
No,
closing statements, fellas.
Go ahead,
I
Chris.
love y'all. You
Yeah,
want me to go
thanks.
first? I love y'all, dog. Buckeyes really gonna repeat, and then we're gonna lose the year after on some bullshit. But it's gonna be fun repeating with y'all. And I don't know if Cam remembers, but I did do my own little Buckeye show last year, well, the year before
Yeah,
last.
yeah.
And Cam, bro, you might be one of the best dudes I know, dog. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you for inviting me on here, and continually to invite me on here. I know the chat I'd be crazy on sometimes, but that's just me,
Man,
dog.
bro,
Right, y'all,
is
bro.
I think it just we put this shit together like to where like it just worked. God put it together where it just worked so perfect with all of us. And then of course I want to add on like God Sanchez, Harvey Sanchez get time to come on here and cook up, and then some of the other guys that we got in the chat. I mean, we really just grow Buckeye Steppers even more. But of course, it's always the main core. You know, us
Nah,
four. I mean, of course, you know what I'm saying? You want to say five, you add Tony in there. Tony, his ass pop in whenever the hell he feel like it here and there and shit.
Double
But he got
dutch.
to get
I
back up.
always do
He
my
got to
bro,
get back
though.
on deck
I always
during the
do my
season,
bro,
man.
though.
He got to get cut. He got to get. He's supposed to be on here tonight. I don't know. I texted him. I'm like, where the hell you at? Like he
Yeah,
ain't even reply back.
I don't think he even realized I called him double dutch yet. I don't think he understands it yet, for real.
Hey, that's all I'm gonna say. It's all love, bro. I love all of y'all. Y'all know it. July 12th, I go understand. And here we are, bro. Like, let's do this shit. Buckeye Steppers.
Facts,
Man,
man.
I too.
it's
Matt
definitely
too.
turn up time, bro, for sure. We're gonna have a good time for sure.
Yeah, man. So of course, we back. I think me and T Mac, we gonna do like a little recruiting little situation tomorrow and shit. I don't know if y'all got time the other day, but I'll figure out what time T Mac doing that because I'm off tomorrow, so I'll be whipping up some little content tomorrow. I got a little conversation with Cam J interview with my dog, Samante Traore from Fairfield tomorrow. And of course, we got a new show that we about to start up.
What's
Sideline,
the name?
sideline the
Around the
baseline
baseline.
podcast. You know what I'm saying? First episode Sunday, man. You know what I'm saying? Talking, football and basketball for us, NFL and NBA, man. So, like,
That's
I'm
gonna be
excited
dope.
about this new show, Sideline the Baseline, man. Podcast for sure. Sunday. We got to figure out what time we're going to do that Sunday, too. So.
That's gonna be
We
dope.
Sideline the
lit, man, on
base.
CamJNetwork, man. We lit on the network, man. It's lit.
Yeah,
Go.
yeah. So,
It's lit, man.
okay.
So you already know, man. we everybody already know. Make sure if y'all watch us on the playback, like and comment, give y'all opinions on some of the topics that we covered tonight as well. And make sure y'all remember we live every Thursday. Buckeye Steppas podcast every Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So make sure y'all tap in with us every Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Buckeye Steppas podcast. We here. We live and
Stop.
direct, you know what I mean, always. And OH,
Ayo.
Ayo.